Hello and welcome back to the 21st episode of the 71st Hour podcast. I'm your host Seto, and or Ben, other ways called. But I am joined by my wonderful co-host Jamie.
Hello.
Always can forget that, don't you?
I do.
And our other wonderful co-host Nathan.
What's up? How's it
How you
going?
boys doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
That's
Doing
good.
really good. Doing
That's
really
good.
good.
Big
And
week for gaming. Big 2 weeks for gaming.
Yeah.
these
Last 2 weeks, lots of video games.
Yeah.
Lots of
Many
games.
video games.
Yes. Well, I think we might as well just get straight into it because
I'm gonna
there's
jump
a
right in.
lot to talk about. So it was the Microsoft showcase, right? That's what it was this week.
Xbox
I'm-
Games Showcase.
Yeah. Oh,
Plus
'cause I'm-
Starfield
I'm-
Direct.
I'm
I don't
getting-
understand, but I've lost connection to the dock.
Yeah.
It's back. It's back. That was very weird.
Okay.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I was like, it
So-
said reconnecting. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Anyway, sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. So we're gonna start off with probably the big one, Starfield, right? I mentioned.
I did want to start with Starfield just because I feel like
Yeah.
this is the one we have the most to talk about.
Yes.
Turn off your captions, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn them off. I'm getting. So I will say, going into this, I mean, I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I was, I wasn't really that excited for Starfield, just because I wasn't really a fan of Fallout 4. Fallout 76 happened, even though Bethesda Game Studios wasn't really they were attached to it, but they weren't really like working on it actively as compared to other studios at Bethesda. And so I wasn't really that excited for Starfield, but man, I want to say, just even if this game comes out on September 6th and it's terrible, it does not live up to the hype that this presentation was, this is probably maybe the best presentation for a game I think I've ever seen
Yeah.
in terms of selling everyone on it. And yeah, I just think they did a really great job.
Yeah.
Just off the bat, just from a presentation standpoint.
They
But-
recreated that feeling for me that I first had when I saw the Skyrim trailers and gameplay from
Yeah.
2011. It's given me that feeling back.
And it
again.
wasn't even just like hype trailers. It was like, here, we're going to show you a lot.
Here's the game.
Here is here is everything we can show you possibly to try and sell you on this, because yes, it is real. Because honestly, like if they showed a trailer again, and they actually did show a trailer in the middle of the game showcase, but if they
Yeah.
showed just like that trailer and that's it, they're just like September 6th, it's like, okay, but are they really gonna pull this off? And after this
Yeah.
presentation, I think they're gonna pull this off. I really do.
Yeah. It's a pretty.
I think it's
damn good
good.
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the gameplay was really, really good. I was the same as
Gunplay,
you,
man.
Nathan. Yeah, I was the same as you, Nathan, where like it's that sense of I don't know what exactly it is, but it's
It's
just
that
that kind of
Bethesda game feeling. You just can't recreate it in any other
Exactly,
game. And
exactly.
when
The
they do
sense
it
of
right,
exploration and just
Yeah.
like the infinite possibilities. Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's just like the what you can do,
Which
with
can
a
be
feeling
dangerous
of excitement.
sometimes.
Yeah.
It can be
True.
dangerous feeling the idea that I feel like I can do anything, and then when I
Yeah.
can't do the thing I want to do, it's like, oh, okay, well,
Heavily disappointing.
there are
Yeah.
limitations. But it does, obviously this scope, who knows how lively these planets are going to be, because they are obviously, a lot of it is procedural
that is my only
generation.
concern. Yeah.
But they kind of sold me where they're like, yeah, every time you drop on a planet, they build chunks as you go. So like, you're always going to kind of see something. There's always going to be something to explore. And hopefully each mine or outpost isn't the same with the same set of enemies. Like, hopefully there's quests attached to these zones and stuff to do that's interesting. I guess that is sort of a concern of mine. But I also think, like, when it comes to space exploration, not everything should be always interesting. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think it kind of adds to the realism if there are planets that are like just a barren wasteland. And it's like, you can
Yeah.
set up an outpost here if you really want to.
Well,
There's
that's
maybe
quite a lot
some
of
rich
planets,
minerals,
so-
but
Yeah.
it kind of adds to the sense of exploration as you're moving across the galaxy. And I think that's maybe a cop out to be like, well, some of these planets, may not be. But No Man's Sky has the same thing, where there's
Does.
planets in No Man's Sky that are just
Yeah, like you'll jump.
you
on
don't want to
planets
stay
that-
there for very long.
Yeah, you'll jump on the planets that have a toxic, like breathing, like you can't breathe on it, basically. Like you don't want
Exactly.
to stay there.
But yeah, like I think the big thing that's selling me on this is the fact that I have my own ship. I can build it myself. I can build a crew. I can go on space adventures with them. The idea that I can, any enemy ship, I can board them. I can take them down
Really
and I can
cool.
steal their ship and then take it into my fleet is like,
It's really
Yeah,
cool.
That is cool.
that
It
is
is really,
just,
really cool.
that's
Yeah,
such
being
a
able
cool,
to board
like,
instead of
fantasy
destroying.
element.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah.
And just
Also,
like,
this, I love this screen where you can see the space-time distortion on every body there. I like that.
it
Just really
just,
cool.
I fully believe that this game is they're gonna pull this off. I really
reckon
do.
they
Like
will.
Yeah.
I have full confidence now after seeing this because like, it's one thing to show a 45-minute presentation 3 years before the game comes out. It's out in 2 months.
Yeah, I was very cautious
3
before this,
months.
but now I think they've got it.
Like
Yeah.
I don't. There's no way that they're gonna show stuff and the scope of this game 3 months out from launch and it just be all smoke and mirrors. Like this is the game. This is how it's gonna be, and that's fucking exciting. It really is. Like it's just.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for this game.
When I first saw everything, I was like, "Oh, this is not going to do well." But the more and more I've seen of this, and definitely this is definitely pushing me over, I definitely now think this is going to be a good game. Like I've gone to the point now, I'm like, "Yeah, no, this is going to do well." Like
It's quelled all my concerns. Like I'm not.
Mhm.
I'm very confident that when I play this game I'm gonna get the upgrade to get the early access. So it's September 1st.
Mhm.
When I jump in, will there be bugs? Probably. But
Yeah.
that's
But
but
that's
I think that's
Bethesda.
kind of fair. 1,000 planets, the scope, the everything being kind of tracked, all the items and all the characters and all the like this game is on a scale that we haven't seen before.
Mm.
And I just cannot wait to just explore and dig in and just not even
Yeah.
necessarily do the main story, but just see what's out there.
Yeah, just literally
that's
play the
that's the
video
main
game.
thing.
There are three really cool points from like a scientific standpoint that got me excited because it's something that like in a space game people just don't either think about or don't care about or don't have the scope to look at.
They don't
It
have the
was,
money. Yeah, exactly.
One, each star creating a different like brightness and type of light depending on its composition. The light looking different on each planet depending on the composition of the star and the type of the atmosphere composition, and the gravity being different on each planet depending on the mass and the size. And,
That
yeah,
is that was
is
the
fucking
biggest
cool.
thing. That is the biggest thing for me when I saw that the gravity was different on each planet. I'm like, shit, that's really cool.
finally
Like,
makes sense.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
finally makes it because that was my biggest gripe when it comes to something like No Man's Sky.
Yeah,
you just kept hopping like exactly the same.
it's
right?
the same.
Like,
it doesn't
Yeah.
like
I'm
the
on this
look may
tiny moon.
change.
yeah,
and
but I'm still hopping like
fine.
it's normal,
Yeah.
right? But no, like I want it to be denser or like less gravity, more gravity,
Yeah.
basically, right?
And I think
Like,
the play styles will
oh.
definitely play into some of that gravity change, and that's
100%.
kind of exciting.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very, very cool. I actually
Yeah.
didn't notice the light composition. I never noticed that.
And I
That's
was going to
actually
say
really
that
cool.
one of the really impressive things about this game is how every planet they've showed looks really like different, but it still has that kind of, it still looks like Starfield. Like it
Yeah.
still has that kind of that through line from
Yeah.
like an artistic standpoint, which I think is really impressive, where you can make something look vastly different from each other, but it still has that look that I think a lot of games, they wouldn't hit the same kind of note that this is hitting in terms of just like from an artistic standpoint. Like I think every planet looks really, really good. Obviously the NPCs, they look like Bethesda NPCs.
Yeah.
But if they had to do cutbacks on how the characters look to give you 1,000 planets and this infinite scope and this massive space adventure, I think that's a fair trade-off. I think that's fair enough.
They're like good Fallout NPCs.
Exactly.
Like,
There is an upgrade. There's a clear
Yeah.
upgrade over Fallout 4. And I can imagine like you really can't get lip syncing totally right on.
No.
But I mean, they said that the script for this game is the size of is bigger than Skyrim and Fallout 4 combined.
Oh,
Jesus.
it's pretty
Okay.
So
significant.
like that's huge. That is
Yeah,
a lot of
that's a
dialogue, a
lot.
lot of characters, lots of storylines, lots of missions. And I mean, they've been working on this game for 8 years. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it shows in the time they've taken to make this game to get it right. Because as I said, Todd Howard's been wanting to make this game for 25 years. Like
Yeah.
he's been waiting for the technology to be at a point where they can actually pull this off. And it's exciting to think that they actually will,
Yeah. And
they
having
made me a
a new
believer.
Bethesda IP is always an exciting thing. It's not every day that happens. So
It is a bit sad that this is probably like by the time Starfield 2 comes out, we're probably going to be like 50 years old.
Yeah, we were
Like,
really
fucking
old.
dead.
because you've got what? You've got Starfield and then you're doing Elder Scrolls 6 and then they want to do Fallout 5 and then
Yeah.
you get Starfield 2. It's like, bro,
We're
that's
old.
like 30 years away.
Yeah, we're
Like,
old.
yeah, we're fucking old at that point. There's also the idea that maybe they don't do a sequel to this game. Maybe they just continue to build on this foundation with DLCs and expansions and
since it's such a big undertaking, yeah.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
I think there's a pretty good foundation here where they could just
Yeah.
kind of have that as the basis. But yeah, I honestly I was not expecting to go into this Starfield Direct fully sold on this game, and they did it.
Yeah, I want it
They
now.
fucking nailed it. I
Yeah.
really do want it now.
September
Like,
is yeah. Needs to
I
come
think
quicker.
this has been a fantastic year for games, and Tears of the Kingdom is clearly a front runner for Game of the Year right now. But I think Starfield actually has a chance. Actually has a shot. It really does.
Dude, you're flip flop between these. Do you still think?
I know. I said Final Fantasy 16. I still think that will be a contender, but
Yeah,
like
this will be a contender.
this matches the
This-
scope of Tears of the Kingdom. It really does.
This is
It doesn't have the gameplay
imagine-
variety, maybe, but it has the exploration scope and feeling of just discovery that I think Tears
Bro,
of the
imagine
Kingdom
the
has.
disappointment if this is bad.
I don't think it will be. Like
I think
what
of
they're
the stuff
showing
they've
is this is
showed,
the game.
yeah. They've
What I'm
showed the
saying is,
game.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like I don't think it will be, but imagine the disappointment if it is. You know what I mean?
Sure. At this
Yeah.
point, I'd be if it was before this direct, if this game was bad, I'd be like, okay, well,
Yeah.
that sucks. But I kind of wasn't really expecting it to be any other way. I would definitely be super disappointed if this ends up not being
100%. 100%.
like a genre-defining RPG,
Yeah.
which it feels like it's
Yeah.
gonna be. Like,
Yeah.
and I know that it's so hyperbolic, but it really feels like this is going to. It's gonna make it. It's gonna make it an impression on
will.
RPG games going forward and space games and yeah.
No,
I'm
Realistically,
very
all they've got
excited.
to do is just do what they showed in this direct and not have
They
completely
said there's
game-breaking
more.
bugs.
They
That's
said
it.
there's more
Yeah,
as
there's
well.
more. Yeah.
They said this is. We showed you some stuff today, but we'll show you more later on. It's like, what the fuck do you mean there's more?
What
like
more?
you have shown enough, and you've teased some kind of force powers at the end of this direct.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
bro, like this is. I don't know. This is crazy. This is a system seller as well. Like, if you don't have an
Oh, yeah.
Xbox or a PC, like this is. I think this is good enough. Hopefully, it will be good enough that it's gonna start selling some.
Yeah,
This
consoles
is
because-
exclusive, yeah.
exclusive. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Microsoft's gonna be loving that now.
Yeah.
And,
they
you know,
finally have a good exclusive. Hopefully.
I think there obviously the outstanding concern is bugs.
Yeah.
But there's some things that have alleviated that for me at least, where Microsoft said that, and I said this in our chat, that if they release the game today, this would have the least bugs of any Bethesda game today
Yeah.
if they release
which
it
is
today.
insane. Which
Yeah.
is
And they also
insane.
said that
Like-
literally every QA person at Microsoft is working on this game.
Wow.
Fixing.
They want it good.
The entire
They
QA department
really-
across every developer is working to make
I
sure this
suppose with a
game.
game this big, you need that many people.
You need
right?
that many
Yeah.
people,
And
and,
also,
Microsoft
like-
needs this to be a
Yeah.
flawless
Yeah,
launch.
like,
Like I think that's
one
the thing.
I think the one thing that Bethesda and Microsoft need is they need this game to be good because of Microsoft needs a good exclusive, but also Bethesda needs kind of get out the stage.
Well, to be fair, they have Hi-Fi Rush, you know.
Oh, you
Hi-Fi
know what I
Rush.
mean. You
But
know
they
what I
need a
mean,
really big exclusive
They-
that's
they
going to
need
like
a
start
big
selling
one.
consoles and
Yeah,
and
like
removing the narrative that Xbox doesn't have games, which has
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
for so long
Both
the narrative.
Bethesda
that they've
needs
had.
to repair their Fallout 76 debacle,
Exactly.
and
They also
Microsoft
need
needs
to do
to
that.
repair Redfall.
yeah,
Yes, exactly.
They both need this game to be good.
Yeah.
Basically, they both need this game.
And
to be
I think
good.
they've given it the time. You know, there was a
have.
rumor that apparently at this point, if Bethesda hadn't been bought by Microsoft, Starfield would have released already
Oh shit.
2 years ago.
Oh shit. Okay.
So,
yeah.
which is concerning from a Bethesda management
Yeah.
standpoint that they
That's what I
were
was thinking.
okay with the game being, you know, how we saw it last year. Like I showed you that screenshot of the comparison,
Mm.
and I know there was different lighting stuff there, but I think even in the asset detail, it was better than how it showed last
Definitely,
year.
yeah. Yeah.
And there's clearly been an upgrade to the game versus how it looked last year, and I think it looks good. Like it doesn't
looks
just look like a
great, yeah.
janky Bethesda game. Sometimes when stuff like this looks very Bethesda, right?
Yeah, like this.
It's
yeah.
the zoom with the bokeh and shit like
Yes,
it's just that's
but
a
I think
Bethesda
when it
thing,
comes
yeah.
to a massive RPG where you have all these different conversations and dialogue options, like you can't really do like the cinematic Last of Us style stuff in
Yeah.
an RPG like this. I think the closest that's kind of gotten to that is Horizon Forbidden West, and even then, it still looks a little bit like
Yeah.
it still looks a little like this. I do love the reference to the Oblivion character with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that
Yeah.
they're poking fun at it, and I just love that they've got these traits where you can be like you can have like a super fan. And then, like, to get rid of, you know, if you want to get rid of that trait, you just fucking kill the guy.
Yeah, I really like
Like-
that. Yeah.
I just love that sense of just being like, yeah, I can just do whatever I want. You know, if I
Yeah.
really want to just end this relationship, just get rid of them. They're gone. Get them out of here.
It is very fun.
As long as they let you kill kids, we're good.
Great. It's great.
Jesus.
Kill children mod. Where?
We haven't seen. Have we seen any children? I don't
No.
think there's kids here.
No.
There's no kids.
No.
It's
They
like
don't look
GTA.
like-
They don't have the kids.
If they don't look like Cyberpunk's children, it'll be
Yeah.
okay.
Smaller adult NPCs.
That was great.
No,
Yeah,
but
I,
yeah, I'm very excited for this. Very
Very
for this.
excited. I can't. Yeah, and I'm so shocked. I'm honestly so shocked that I'm saying Starfield is like my most anticipated game this
Yeah.
year.
100%, 100%. Moving on to another game that I don't know if you guys are anticipating for, because I am hell not. Fable. I am.
Wait, what did you
not,
say? If you know
Fable.
what?
I'm not ready for this. I'm not excited for this game by any means. It's
I'm
my
not
type of
ready for
game.
this, dude.
You're not excited for this?
Not really. I'm not really. Look, like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really that excited for this. I can see why people are. I'm not really. Like, with all the games that are coming out this year, this
Well,
is
it's
not
not coming
really
out this year.
list. Oh, it's not. Never mind that.
2020. So it's actually got no release date.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay,
So I
perfect.
would say it's
2025
late 2024,
or late
probably
24, yeah.
2025.
Cool.
So I am like I'd say a casual Fable fan. I've played a little bit of the original trilogy of Fable games. What I think the cool thing about Fable, this release is one, Playground Games, known for Forza Horizon. So, you know that, even if it's a totally different genre, you know that they're going to put a ton of fucking effort and love into it. And the second thing about Fable is that it is sort of one of those RPGs where you can kind of do whatever you want. Like you can make random fucking choices and do the craziest shit possible. And so I'm just excited for Fable to come back. I think it's a really cool IP. I think the really unique thing is the British humor and kind of just the quirkiness of it. And I'm glad they're not getting rid of that. Like I'm really glad that they're keeping to the root of that IP, because they could easily just make Fable, they could just make it like a super hardcore, like whatever RPG and just do what a lot of other RPGs are doing. But I appreciate that Playground Games is like, no, we're going to keep to what Lionhead Studios did previously. And I think it looks great. Like this is apparently in-game footage on an Xbox Series X, which looks very, very impressive. And a lot of people were like, why are they showing a CGI trailer? And then the one of the art leads at Playground Games was like, no. That's running on a Series X. Like that is how the game looks. So
Dude, I thought that was CGI.
Yeah,
no,
same.
it looks
Wow.
really, really fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like,
And you can sort of see hints of where the gameplay is. It's sort of a lot of it is like cinematic angles,
Cinematic gameplay, yeah.
but like here when they throw it, that's how gameplay would sort of look ish.
Yeah, just without the camera.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking super cinematic. But yeah, I'm very excited for this. Game Pass day one obviously just makes it a no-brainer to check it out.
Fable
I
3
think
had like
Playground Games is
an
gonna nail it.
online mode, didn't it? I remember kind of doing that with some
I
friends.
think one of the Fable games had co-op, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I
I'm
kind of remember
pretty sure
doing
there
it.
was some online component.
Yeah, no, Fable 3.
Fable 3.
Full co-op support with a locally
Yeah.
and online for 2 players.
Yeah, and like Fable, for instance, is a game where you can get married and then like take all their money and then kill them. Like, you know what I mean? Like it is that kind of RPG where you can make whatever kind of decision you want to, and you have these really cool dynamic interactions with NPCs. And I think they're just gonna take it up to 11 in this game.
Yeah.
And I really like this reveal of like,
Yeah. him
what's
being
this guy?
bigger.
What's the actor's name? David.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
He's in the IT crowd. I just know his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him being like a giant, being like
Yeah.
it's like a Jack and the Beanstalk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that stuff. Very
Yeah,
excited for
like-
this game.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah,
It showed well.
just with everything else that kind of was announced, talked about, this kind of fell on the radar for me. I'm not really that excited for it. I think if it gets closer to the day and once I see release day and whatnot, I'll probably get more excited. Just right now, I'm not really that excited for it.
I think when you see like full like a proper amount of gameplay, I think that's
it
when
definitely
Yeah.
got me more excited knowing that there wasn't a CGI trailer, because I thought that was a CGI trailer. I
know.
did.
And it did have
cool.
like, and even it had like in-game footage at the bottom, but then Playground Game was like, no, like it actually is. Like it's not just
Yeah.
like in-engine. Like this is actually like how it.
Yeah, I assumed it
how
was
it
in
looks.
engine, not CGI.
No, but this is like it was running. I mean, it probably is in-engine running on an Xbox Series
Yeah.
X, so it's
Yeah.
like
But it's still comparative to what you'll see when it comes out, so it's okay. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Next up we have South of Midnight. Now, I actually did not see this trailer. I think I did not.
There wasn't a lot shown here.
Yeah,
to
it's
be
not
honest.
much in it.
Yeah.
It's very much like a tone setter, I'd say.
So what is this? Because I actually did not see this trailer. I did not.
Well,
see
the thing is, like, so there was a blog post posted after this trailer, after the showcase. So it looks like it's sort of like a beast hunting kind of game where it's set in like the deep south in the bayou, and it has this kind of style where it kind of looks like stop motion esque, you know, and
Yeah.
it's kind of got that kind of like what's the look of it? Like it reminds me of like Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, where it has that kind of look to it. I really appreciate like how the style of it.
Yeah, I do like the style of it a lot. This looks really good.
But yeah, I'm interested. Like that's I guess what I'll say.
Yeah.
The developer has done some good stuff before. Their previous game was what was the one where you take the drugs? Happy Pills.
Oh yeah,
We Happy
Happy
Few.
Few.
That
We
was
Happy
their last
Few.
game.
yeah,
This looks like it's a drastic departure from that though.
yeah.
And yeah, no, I think it looked cool. Obviously not a lot to say about this just because there wasn't a lot shown. I'm excited to see how the gameplay looks. But I like the tone. I like the style. Yeah.
Yep, looks cool. Looks
That's
Game
pretty
cool.
Pass
much
day
it.
one.
Yep, another
It's,
Game
just,
Pass day
it's
one.
so easy
Any
when
game
when
on
a,
Game
when a
Pass.
game is Game Pass, it's like yeah, fuck
You
yeah, I'll
just
just give
play
it a
it,
shot.
right?
First party
Yeah.
games, Game Pass, yeah, of course. Like why not?
Exactly. Next up, Star Wars Outlaws. Again, did not see this trailer. So
Wait, really? You didn't see
What?
the gameplay either?
I haven't seen any of this because I had to basically go away until Sea of Thieves. So I've missed on the next few trailers. So this is all
Right,
brand
okay.
new for me.
So this is by Massive, who
Yep.
have done they did The Division 1 and 2. So so obviously they showed a CGI trailer. We'll just talk about the gameplay just because that's more, I'd say, more
Yeah.
important. I think this looked great. I think this gameplay looked really good. Obviously it's Ubisoft, so we'll see how it goes. But I think like even if it is a checklist kind of game, like I guess the comparison is like Spider-Man is a checklist kind of game, and doing a checklist open world game in Star Wars isn't the worst thing. You know what I mean? Like even if it is just like I don't know, The Division, but it's Star Wars, like
Yeah.
I can kind of get down with that.
Yeah. 'Cause enjoyed
I
the
do
game's
like
business
that.
gameplay,
I mean,
so-
I think the big thing from this trailer is actually we'll let it play. Was the end when you get in your starship and you just go straight into space. I really hope that's how it works in the game. I hope
yeah.
it's not a matter of like showing it for the trailer and then when they release
Quick
it
travel
next
on the
year,
map.
it's like
Yeah.
fast travel or like you go up to space and it does a loading
Yeah,
screen and
yeah,
then it
yeah.
loads you into space. I think it looked really impressive just from that aspect of being able to go from planet to space. Really curious how many planets there are, how big they are. Obviously, we're not going to see like the scope of Starfield, which I think is fine.
2,000 planets, just like
Yeah, I would hope not. I couldn't imagine fucking 1,000 Ubisoft open worlds in a Star Wars
Oh,
game. That might be
God.
a little too much. That might be too much. I think
perfect.
I can go up a tower only so many times before it gets boring. But obviously, massive entertainment, really good at shooters, so the shooting will be good. I like that you're not a Jedi. You're
Yeah,
like a
you're-
scoundrel.
yeah.
You're ripping people off. You're going into like the deep underbelly of Star Wars. Like, love that. Love that it's very different from what Respawn's doing with Star Wars Jedi.
I would say with Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, it's good that they're going to different routes because otherwise it would just feel like a copy. You know what I mean? So it's good they're going a different route.
And I think it looks good, like visually. Like I think it looks great. Hopefully, this is actually how it's going to be.
Yeah, we'll see.
Ubisoft does have a sort of a precedent of showing off really impressive looking games, and then when the game releases, it looking
so
ranging
good.
from a little less impressive to significantly less impressive.
Yeah, from Assassin's Creed to Watch Dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. But it's coming out next year, so like you would kind of hope that this is how the game will look. I feel like a lot of the time when they show demos like this, it's like when they're a few years out, they're kind of making a demo to show how they want it to look, how
Yeah.
they're intending it to look.
But it should be pretty close to
The
what
fact that it is
should be.
coming,
Yeah.
within a year or 18 months, I guess. Hopefully it retains this look because I think it looks fantastic. And I love it being on the speeder. I love when it shows up when it says wanted. I'll skip to that.
I do want to see this flying scene. I want to see this.
Also, I think the in-game cutscenes look great. Like
Yeah,
just
these look really good.
Like that looks fantastic, man. Honestly, like I think it's on the level, if not better than what Jedi Survivor's doing in terms of.
Yeah, I think it's a bit better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this looks really
Which
good.
worries me because it is like open world. Like if it has this kind of fidelity, like we'll see. We'll see if they actually pull this off. But I do want to skip over to when it says you're wanted. I love that.
Oh, that's
that
cool.
that treatment's really fucking cool when it pops up. So this is like, is it like Star Wars GTA? Like is
Yeah.
that sort of what they're going for? There's a kind of a wanted system. And we'll wait for it to get to the part where you get up in your starship and you go into space because I think that looks
GTA
really
Online and
really
Star
good.
Wars. GTA
What'd you
Online
say?
and Star Wars. GTA Online and Star Wars.
Well, yeah, no, this is the good thing is single player as well.
yeah.
No
Yeah,
multiplayer. Which gives me a little more hope because Ubisoft Online games, when you play Watch Dogs Online, somehow the game just completely cripples.
Yeah, breaks.
But yeah, this looks great.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks great. This looks really cool.
And like, I'm sure there will be some kind of limitation in determining where you land on planets,
Yeah,
or where you can
definitely,
kind
Oh,
of go.
100%, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that's fine. Like, I think as long as they keep the idea of you lifting off in your starship and going into space,
Yeah, that's sick.
because that's like, I
really
mean, that's the
cool.
loading screen. Like, the cloud is essentially the loading
Yeah.
screen there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it is next gen only, so it's
You should be able to
feasible
do
that
it.
you could do something like this with everyone being on SSDs.
Yeah.
I do think an interesting thing about Starfield is that you need an SSD for it. Can't use a hard drive. So
Well, yeah,
obviously,
wow.
even on PC,
That
no.
actually said it.
Yeah.
That's the
It's
first
finally
game to
doing it.
actually say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see a lot more because
Yeah.
more next gen games come out. They're going to stop supporting hard drives,
Yeah.
basically.
I mean, so many games like basically need it, but they haven't said it. Yeah.
Exactly. I think
Yeah.
it's a good thing that they're just like, and I think this will be one of those games too.
Yeah.
Where
Probably.
like, unless maybe when you go into the clouds, it's just longer.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a longer amount of time. I guess you could get around it that way, but
But if Starfield's like, you literally won't be able to stream the assets fast enough. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But yeah, like this looks.
That
I mean,
looks
come
sick.
on, man. Like
Yeah,
going
just
just
sick.
going into hyperspace, straight from planet to fighting TIE fighters to going into a new area.
More Star Wars is always good. I'm always
More
happy
Star
with
Wars is
Star Wars
always
is
good.
great.
Yeah.
I
And
also
they've got
love
cool
it, dude.
text.
The logo, all the
Yeah.
text treatment is so good. The UI
Yeah.
is fantastic. Actually, I just want to quickly go back because I do like how they do the when you go to a new planet.
Yeah.
If you look in the bottom left, it's sort of it brings up this thing where you select where you want to go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
cool.
And then love that. I love how all the
How it's
UI
very
looks. I hope it
seamless.
stays
How it's
like
very
this.
seamless, yeah.
Yes. And then you just go straight into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Rather
That's
than
really
pulling to
sick.
a map and looking around.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very
Exactly, yeah.
seamless. You just click on your D-pad or something like that. That's really cool. That's
Yeah.
really, really
Very
cool.
excited for this.
Yeah.
And massive. I think they're one of the better studios at Ubisoft. So
Mm-hmm.
I have faith, but we'll see.
Yes.
We shall.
We'll see how it ends up.
This gameplay looks very interesting because
Yeah, because you're a big fan of Spiritfarer.
I love Spiritfarer.
This is obviously very different.
very
so-
different, but still very similar art style. So this is 33 Immortals. Very different, but it still has the same art style as Spiritfarer. So this is a roguelike with 33 people, 33 person
It is a
co-op?
roguelite with 33 player co-op.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
I
That
just
is-
love the idea that it's like, because you watch the trailer and it's like, okay, one person, cool, and then it sort of shows like 6, and as I'm watching it, I'm like, how many players is this going to be like? And then it eventually gets to the point where it's like, there's a fuck ton of people on screen right now. Are these NPCs? And then it pops up saying like 33 player co-op, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell,
It's
dude? Like, let's
insane.
go,
It's
man.
It's just like stupid, but awesome.
I hope and I trust that the developers can actually do this. It's so insane. It's
I
so
mean,
insane.
it's such a specific number too. Like I love
It
that
is.
it's not like it's not 30 player
It's just
co-op. It's not
arbitrary at that
35
point.
player co-op. It's like
Yeah.
33 player co-op. Why
33,
not?
yeah.
This is what we're doing. Yeah, so it's obviously very different to Spiritfarer. Obviously,
Yes.
I'm assuming will not be very story based. It will very
No.
much be like super gameplay focused. And this developer's actually done like combat stuff before Spiritfarer.
Yes.
So this is more like them going back to their roots as much as it is a departure from Spiritfarer.
Mhm. I love the
But
art
yeah,
style.
I think it looks great. I think
God,
I
it's
love
so
the art
good.
style. I love more player co-op. Like more than
Yeah.
3 or 2 or 4. Like
I just hope this is good because then we finally have a game for all of us to play at the
so
same
is this one not
time.
Game Pass? I thought it was for some reason.
No, I didn't say it was.
But I guess
No
oh,
Game
there it
Pass.
is.
They
There
want
it
Game
is.
Pass.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't say it on the thing, but
Yeah.
Dude,
But yeah.
I hope this is good because I love the art style and whatnot. I love the art style, the look of it. I love roguelikes. I'm playing so many right now. It just looks like 33 players.
yeah, like
It's
when I
so
saw that, I
dumb.
was like, "Who are those people? Like, are
Yeah.
they just like your like followers or something?"
Just send
and then
them in.
ends up they're all
My-
players. Like,
My question is that can you like search for more people? Can you get like if you have like 8 friends?
I would assume there's
Yeah.
some kind of matchmatching.
With
yeah,
that
can
many
you match-
people, there's
But
like
then
no
it's a
one knows what
roguelite.
happens.
I'm really curious, like how this is gonna work.
Yeah, like when you
our
die, what
runs-
happens?
Yeah,
It's-
like
Who
that.
knows?
Like what happens?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was someone
yeah, like
died.
so imagine we're all playing.
You
Just
spectate?
sitting. You spectate your friends.
Well,
Yeah.
like, is there a way to
I-
revive people? Then it kind
I
of makes it an
imagine-
easy roguelite. There's a lot of
Yeah.
questions. I've got a lot
I
of questions.
imagine because games that are similar to this that do co-ops, like Risk of Rain, for example. When someone dies, you just spectate, but once you get to a new level or a new area, your friend gets revived, right? But the issue that comes in is that then you might creep in front of them in power, and the enemies will creep in front of them, and they might start constantly dying. That's the issue that comes into it, right? So that's kind of like the loop of when you have a co-op simulator like this.
Oh, it's like that shooting one as well.
Yeah, gunfire.
Yeah, gunfire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, if you die, you just spectate until it gets a new level.
Yeah.
Don't know how the levels work in this. One thing I saw, which is kind of cool, is that there's ability that seem to be tied with if other people are joining in with you. So like, there's one where you see 3 people shooting arrows in the same line. I think that's ability that one of them did, and the other one's joined in on. Right, so I think you can actually like join in on friends like ultimates and
You
whatnot.
do
which I
like
think is a cool idea.
group attacks.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool idea.
My main concern is what does the loop look like for this
Exactly.
for 33
Exactly.
players? And the second one is hopefully it's not too busy, because I feel like if it's 33 players, like
it's gonna get really. There's so much shit happening. It's great.
it's gonna get
like,
super difficult to track where you are. Like, I mean, it's not gonna look. I think you're gonna have like a thing above your head, which won't look as attractive, but you kind of have to do it, otherwise you're sort of lost in what you're doing.
I can't wait to be able to turn all that off and just get confused. Just
turn off all the HUD elements.
Yeah, turn off all the HUD elements so you just see people running around. That's it.
But yeah, I am very, very interested in this game, and the fact that it looks Game Pass. It's just like, why not?
It looks really cool. It looks really, really cool. Another game that I'm very excited to see is Payday 3. This looks good.
Yeah, it looks good, but it does, like, I think for some reason I was expecting it to look
better,
a little bit different than Payday 2.
Oh, okay.
But it not different in terms of like a totally different game, but like look better. Like I think it just looks like Payday 2.
It just looks like more Payday, yeah.
It does.
Which I'm not like disappointed by, but I think I don't know, it's been so long since Payday 2 came out that I don't know. I was expecting it to have some more like enhancements, and maybe there will be more,
Yeah, if there's some, I think they need more gameplay elements. To kind of
like the
differentiate it a bit.
cinematic gameplay, like showing it without the HUD, without kind of any idea of what's going on. And I think it's because they probably got a call from Microsoft saying make it this long because we've only got this amount of time. So hopefully we see more soon. It is coming out, September 21st, which is very exciting.
September's so stacked. Holy shit.
So stacked.
There's so many games.
This one, it will be one where obviously when people are on, I'll play it, but there's so much coming in September that like it will not be one of those games that I'm checking out solo or anything. But yeah, no, it definitely looks it looks fun. It looks like Payday. So I'm down to obviously try it out. Game Pass is a huge get. I think this is one of those games that I think is perfect for Game Pass, that it may not be necessarily a game that people, new people to the franchise immediately buy, but it's definitely something that I can see people checking out on Game Pass. So
if you don't have Game Pass yet, the next 2 years, shit, you want it.
Yeah, you really want Game Pass.
Absolutely,
it's
stacked.
already so good, and it's gonna get even better. It's insane.
I'm not sure what's going on with my internet, by the way. Everything is lagging the fuck out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Next up, we have Persona 3 Reload. Again, did not see it.
Yes.
So what the hell is this shit, Jamie?
So Persona 3 was a game that came out on like the PS2, right?
Yeah.
And then they did like a reboot, or not like a remaster on PSP. So this is a big deal because Persona 3 is one of the better Persona games, I think. It's one that people really enjoy. And so the idea that they're bringing this game into like the, into 2024 with the kind of the stylings of how I guess Persona 5 worked is pretty cool. I think the cool thing about Persona 3 is it's very dark. There's a lot of fucked up shit going on. You're kind of a student like a high school student, but like random supernatural stuff happens. And Persona games they're less on the weeby side, I think, even though they look weeby.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is on Game Pass is even better. So that's all I got to say about it. I think it's cool that this leaked also before the showcase. So like it was a little bit. I think it would have been a way bigger deal if it hadn't have leaked. But yeah, cool. Persona 3. And also big get for Microsoft, like getting Japanese games, I think, because Japan, not really Xbox fans. So I think
Sony and Nintendo definitely own that marketplace.
Yeah,
exactly.
100%.
And so I think you can definitely see that Microsoft is trying desperately to bring more Japanese fans over to their platform.
Yeah.
Makes it easy when you can cloud stream it and all this stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Hey, true.
Okay, next up we have Avowed. So I did see this one after Showcase. I don't know. So I don't know too much about this.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Is like this doesn't look necessarily that impressive, but Obsidian are really good at making RPG games.
Yes.
And so I have full faith that this is going to be great. They've said, you know, a little. Some people are a little worried because they've said it's on a similar scope and scale to the Outer Worlds. And I think maybe people hope that this would be a little more like Obsidian Skyrim. But I think it's fine. I think that's fine if they want to like scope it down, make it a little more intimate, a little more like detailed from that perspective. I'm fine with that. I'm excited for this. Game Pass day one, Obsidian team. They make fucking good games.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed the Outer Worlds. You guys play the Outer Worlds, right?
Yep.
Not much of it, but yeah.
Yeah. Really
I
enjoyed
liked
the
it.
Outer
It
Worlds.
was good.
Yeah, it was good though. Yeah.
I'm interested to see what they can do with, you know, a fantasy game. Obviously set in the Pillars of Eternity universe as well. So for all those PoE players, there you go. You got
You got it,
FPS,
guys.
you got a
You're
first
good.
person magic casting game. So there you go.
You know quickly what this reminded me of, that game is
that?
you remember Skull and Bones? The goddamn video game? The goddamn pirate game?
I do remember Skull and Bones.
That goddamn pirate game, bro. Yeah.
You know the
No.
funny thing about Skull and Bones is that they showed it at the Ubisoft showcase
You
on
did?
Tuesday, but the way they showed it was a song,
Oh no.
just a song called Skull and Bones.
What the
Oh,
And then the
fuck?
announcement was that there's going to be a closed beta.
Oh, sick.
So excited.
That was a closed beta that you have to sign up for.
Ooh.
in
Holy
August.
shit. So
And
excited.
so you best believe I signed up for it. I want to get in there. I want to see what's going on.
I
with
definitely,
Skull and
I'm gonna
Bones.
sign up for that. I didn't know it was gonna be a thing. I'm gonna sign up for that. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah. So, oh man, Skull and Bones, bro.
Yeah.
Speaking of pirates, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Speaking of pirates,
Oh,
that's the
yeah,
segue. That was the
go on.
segue. Speaking of pirates,
this is cool.
we do have Sea of Thieves: Legend of Monkey Island. This looks pretty good. It reminds me a lot of the
Pirates.
the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
100%. It looks good. It looks good. Like it's more Sea of Thieves, which I'm happy about.
It's more, yeah, I
play it.
you know,
Yeah.
Monkey Island. People love that franchise. It was very weird when they showed the Lucas film or Lucas games or whatever.
Yeah, bro.
It
I was like,
like,
where are they going with this?
are we going to Star Wars?
Yeah.
There's gonna be
Star
some fucking
Wars
random
crossover.
Star Wars crossover with Sea of Thieves. And then I kept thinking, I was like, okay, so it's Lucasfilm, like games. Like what games have they made? And then it popped up. I was like, oh, of course,
Yeah.
Monkey
Yeah.
Island. Yeah, that makes sense. I forgot that was
The ships are gonna start going to
Lucas
space.
game.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
They start taking
I
off.
was like, where are we going with this? Like, but yeah, no, this is fun. This is a cool cross. I think it actually kind of works out perfectly because the humor of Sea of Thieves and the humor of Monkey Island very, very close.
Yeah, very similar.
And so I think this is gonna work. I think more effectively than the Pirates crossover did.
yes, 100%.
Because I was
Yeah,
a
the
little
Pirates
let
cro-
down by the Pirates stuff, but I think this will be fun.
The Pirates crossover, they had to really fill in a gap of how the hell that actually crossover could happen.
And not even that, but it was like, I don't know. It was the Pirates one was just you reliving stuff that happened in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas this, you don't necessarily like. I don't think people have like an affiliation with like the story of Monkey Island. Some people do, of course, but the vast majority of people who are going to try this probably don't. So yeah, free story. I'll give it a go. Why not?
yeah,
May as well.
Yeah.
And July is a pre-light month.
I imagine.
Light, so
Well, I imagine it's up to 4 pieces of Galleon, so we could all just do
Yes.
it together. That'd be
Yep.
very interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be
exactly,
very cool.
exactly.
Yeah. Very, very cool. Right. Okay. So we then had Flight Simulator 2024. I did not play
So-
much of the last one.
Yeah, so this is weird, right? So
a new game.
I thought this was an update.
Yeah, I
when
thought
they were
this was
showing
a-
this, I was
yeah.
like, wow, this is a big update. Showing a lot of stuff.
I didn't expect this.
And then
Oh.
even when it said Flight Sim 2024, I was like, oh, so it's like the 2024 update for this game. And no, like after reading into it, it's like, no,
New
this is
game.
a whole other game.
Yeah.
That's coming out next year. And it makes sense because like Flight Sim originally used to do these updates, yearly updates.
Yeah, they
almost.
did. Yeah, yeah.
So it makes sense that they'd be continuing that tradition with this. I just hope that, I mean, naturally you hope that they bring everything that's in
I'm sure
Flight
they
Sim
will.
2020
They
into
worked
2024.
very, very hard on all that. Yeah.
But especially like even the content updates for locations, like you would hope that like
Oh, definitely,
they're bringing
yeah.
over everything, which
Well, that's like-
makes the question like how fucking big is this game gonna be to download?
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
content updates
How-
were massive.
How
Yeah.
big was Flight Sim last?
It's like
one?
150 gigs or
Well,
something
it
now.
started at
Oh
150, but it's
my.
even
Yeah.
more with
Oh, yeah, true.
the packs of the
Yeah.
locations. You don't have to download all of them, obviously.
You have to buy them, don't you?
No,
Some of
no,
them?
they're
Ah.
free updates.
Ah.
So like you can get like the Australia pack, and you get the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
I'm downloading all of them.
Yeah, no, but it's like I think it's almost like 300 gigs.
Yeah, yeah.
So on top of that, this is gonna be like a 400 gig game. Obviously, with them being like content packs, I'm assuming you'll be able to like pick and choose
Yeah.
in this. But yeah, this is dope, dude. This is really cool. Like I love the idea of like doing these random little like
like saving
these
people
missions and
or-
stuff like this.
That was the
Yeah.
thing that Flight Sim was missing is like a point to play, not just
Sure.
playing for fun, but like actually doing something.
Yeah.
I think that they're definitely going to bring some players in and keep them there this time.
And obviously, weather is a
Yeah,
big thing
that's
now.
cool.
Like
That's cool.
Yeah.
and this is like a fully like it's not just like a baked in tornado. Like that is a
Yeah.
fully simulated
An actual weather event. Yeah.
weather event. That is how it'll look, like how it would look in that location with that. Yeah. I don't know. This looks great. I can't wait
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
I'm really,
It'll be
really
good.
excited.
And great, I can actually play it now. So
You will be able to play it now.
I can
yeah,
actually
yeah,
play
yeah.
it now. So
It
I'm actually
wasn't
very
great
excited for this.
before.
I actually am very excited because I can actually finally play it. So yeah.
DLSS 3 as well.
Yes.
So you can get those, you get those extra frames.
Yeah. So next.
Oh,
up
and
we
there was
have-
also the
Oh.
Dune crossover as well, which
Oh,
is cool
yeah.
for this
Oh, is that a
coming out
thing?
this year.
You can
Oh,
fly
wow.
an ornithopter.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
did not
cool.
know that's what it was called.
an ornithopter.
Yeah, the dragonfly looking things.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
no,
cool.
look, that's cool. I like that. They did one for Top Gun Maverick, so it's cool that they're finding new ways to bring in some other stuff,
Some people. Yeah.
some other movie tie-ins. Yeah, no, cool stuff.
Do you guys
So-
think you can talk about the next game for a minute and a bit? Because I need to pee quite badly.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Sure,
Okay.
we can make up some bullshit.
fun.
So
I'm not
next up
making
we
up
have
anything.
Senua Saga Hellblade 2.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Have you played Hellblade 1?
I have not. I have not.
Oh,
I
man,
wanted
it's so
to.
good.
I wanted to, but I've not played Hellblade 1.
Yeah, so like Hellblade 1 was originally a game that sort of was like almost like an indie project that released, I think, only on PC and PS4.
Shit.
And so when Microsoft bought Ninja Theory,
Yeah.
I get them mixed up with Team Ninja, just for the Ninja.
Ninja, yeah.
When they bought them, I was obviously surprised that they're working on Hellblade 2 because it felt like Hellblade 1 was kind of like it felt like a full story.
yeah.
But that being said, like I am excited for more Hellblade. I think this game looks
It looks
insanely good.
great. Yeah.
This is gameplay. This is how it's gonna look.
I like the
think-
camera shake. It's something I haven't really noticed,
Yeah.
but I do like how the
Super
camera kind of
cinematic.
shakes around with your movement, which is insane. But like, it looks
My-
good.
My one slight disappointment with this showing is that I wish they showed more combat. Because
Yeah.
that was a part of Hellblade 1 that I think was maybe the weakest part of it. Was the combat was pretty one note. It was like you would do a basic kind of two basic attack moves and then you dodge.
Yeah.
And that was kind of it. And obviously it was a smaller scope, so I'm hoping that the gameplay and the combat in this feels a little more dynamic and there's a few more options at your disposal. But just this was like a tone setter and kind of just to more of an announcement that yes, it's coming next year.
It's
Be
happening.
excited.
Is this the game where they like don't play it if you like prone to psychosis or some shit?
Yes,
Yeah.
it does a lot of the 3D audio.
Yeah.
Like you hear the whispers on like the left side of your ear, and you sound like it's behind you. And even if you watch this gameplay with headphones on, same kind of thing where they did the 3D audio. And yeah, no, that's definitely one of the big draws of this game is getting very immersed in it through the audio.
They
and I'm
want to
glad
send
that
you to
they're
a psych
continuing
ward.
that.
They want
What's
to send
that?
you to a, they want to send
Yeah.
you to a psych ward.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
they want people
Basically.
to be diagnosed.
Yes.
The paranoia.
Easy schizophrenia.
But I highly recommend checking this. The first game is on Game Pass. Highly recommend playing it.
Yeah.
It's a great story-based game that is sort of like a Sony first-party light, I'd say.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Well,
cool.
no,
The
yeah,
second
I
one's
was definitely,
coming
I
out
was definitely gonna pick it.
2024.
I was definitely gonna play the first one. I just haven't gotten around to it because there's so many other games. like
Yes,
it's very difficult.
understandable.
It's very.
And if you
difficult.
have it on Steam, there's a VR version if you want to play that too.
Oh yeah, that's
cool.
right.
That's really.
But
cool.
it's weird because it's like it's third-person VR, so like you're playing the game with a controller, but it's just.
Oh.
I mean, I can imagine it being very immersive though.
yeah.
So I think that's actually maybe how I'll replay Hellblade 1. Give it a shot, see how it looks.
Cool. Okay, so next up, complete departure. We have Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth.
Dude, this is the funniest trailer of this entire
it's a
show.
good
guys.
one.
Yeah,
this
this
is
is
a
good
really good trailer.
This is a good trailer.
yeah, obviously there's fucking way too many Yakuza games that
There
one
is.
day I am literally just gonna be like, I don't need to play new games. I'm just gonna play Yakuza.
Only play Yakuza.
It's the same thing with like Final Fantasy XIV, where I'm like, one day I will just not play all these other live service games. I will only play Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah.
Same thing with this, where it's like, at this point there are 10 Yakuza games. You don't have to play them all. But I kind of want the full story. And considering now that they're kind of branching Yakuza 1 to 6 and Yakuza 7 and now 8, it kind of makes sense to get the full story, and there's a bunch of spin-offs and a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, this looks great. It looks funny. I think it's cool that they're doing a kind of a big departure. It's like it's in Hawaii, you know?
Yeah.
He's not in Japan anymore. People are gonna stop complaining about the fact that they keep fucking doing the same blocks in each Yakuza game because they do the same areas, slightly different, slightly upgraded.
I played the first two, and that's what it really felt like. I was like, damn, I've seen this already.
Yes,
Like,
but that is why usually they're able to pound these fucking games out. Where they're releasing. So this is coming out 2024. They already released Like a Dragon. Genshin. What was the one that came out this year? The one that's back in like the old times.
Yeah.
Ishin.
Like
Like a Dragon
a
Ishin. They're releasing a spin-off this November as well.
They're just
and then they've
pumping them
got
out,
this
bro.
in 2024. Like
But
they
the thing
are,
is-
they're pushing these games out.
The thing is, it's not like they don't do well. The games do well. That's the thing.
Oh
when
yeah,
they
they're all
come out,
fantastic. Like
Yeah,
they're
they
all
come out,
amazing games.
They pump them out, and they're all good. Like
They
it's not
all
like they're
review well,
shit.
and they're all well liked.
Yeah, that's
No,
insane.
they're a fantastic studio with an
I don't know how they
insane
do that.
output of games.
Yeah, don't know. It's insane.
I
but
don't know. I don't know because there's so many. Some games are like, oh yeah, we take 8 years to make this game, and this developer's like, oh, we take
24/7
6 months to make
Yeah.
this game. Like we're just pumping these games out. They must have a lot of teams. Surely.
Yeah,
like that's the
100%,
only way.
100%, just to get them out. 100%. Cool. Again, now we're going to go down into a little more of a sadder time. Fallout.
Well, it's not
76.
sad, you know. Like
Well,
I think,
look,
I think
I
at this
feel-
point, Fallout 76 is in a good place.
Hey, you think it's in a good?
But people are still. I mean, here's the thing, right?
They still.
Would they still be making content for the game if people weren't playing it?
It's true.
Hey man, true. That's a good point. That's a
It
good
was
point. I don't
alright
know
when we
why
played it
people-
years ago. I mean,
I don't
we
know
didn't
why-
play
It's
much of
alright.
it. Yeah.
All right is a good way to put it.
I don't know.
It's better now, I think.
Yeah, probably.
We'll have to give it a try. So what we're talking about is Fallout 76 Atlantic City. It's a DLC coming out for Fallout 76.
They don't show much of the DLC, unfortunately. It's like it's
Not
more of
really.
an ad for Fallout 76, and they're like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's new content coming as well."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought it was cute. It's a cute little animation with, and you know, obviously the Game Pass promotion there. And yeah, then just like, yeah, Atlantic City coming soon.
Yeah.
I don't know
The
much to say about
this
this.
song was about Atlantic City. It was.
Oh,
like
it was.
yeah,
I thought it
yeah,
was
yeah.
just about Fallout 76.
No, it was. It was generally about like the new place.
Right.
Yeah.
I see. I guess, you know, people know what Fallout 76 looks like, so they don't have to show gameplay.
Yeah.
You know what it's gonna look like Fallout 4. It's gonna look like Fallout 76. Yeah, no, it's yeah, you know, more Fallout.
more
we
Fallout.
do,
people.
we do
Yeah.
need to play it. I feel like we all need to
But
play Fallout
it's
76
just
again.
there's so much to play, and there's
There
so
is
much to
so
do in
much.
this game as well.
Yeah. But like,
Yeah, it's like
somewhat.
at least 40 hours of content of like shit that is just the story,
And-
maybe.
Yes,
And then way more
on top of that.
Yeah.
No, that is true. That is true.
I can't
That's
wait
the
for you to
unfortunate-
pronounce this game, Seto.
Yeah, I read it just now, and I'm like, oh no.
Oh, that's easy.
Okay. Then you announced it, Nathan. What do you think it is?
Kunitsu-Gami.
Yeah, it is
Kunitsu-Gami,
actually pretty easy.
Yeah. Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess. So, I actually, again, did not see this trailer. I did not see it. So,
This guy, man, not doing his research, man. Look at this.
yeah,
guy.
not doing my research. Not doing my research.
Here's the thing. Like, the only thing I want to say about this is that I am interested just purely because it's Capcom.
Yes, I did see it was Capcom. And
Like, Capcom's on a hot streak, so
They are.
When
They
they
are.
make a game, I listen.
What?
I keep, you know.
What genre game is this? Do we know?
It's a really good question. I think it's action, but with some strategy involved. Because you see in the trailer, like, it looks like he controls people,
Yes.
like it's a Pikmin game. He has a group of followers. Like, you'll see
Yeah.
it soon, like, at some point. It looks very wet.
It does.
Like, it looked
Yeah.
wet and gritty.
It really
but also
does.
colorful. Like, I appreciate the art style. I like that.
Yeah,
That's
there's a
gross.
lot of
That's
nice
a gross
colors
thing.
to it, but also when you take a look at the designs, like right there, his chest opening up.
See, there's
it's
a lot
kind
of
like,
I'm waiting. At some point, he starts.
yo, what that tongue do?
Yeah, there are lots of tongue creatures.
Yeah,
Lots of
What-
lickers.
Yo,
Yeah,
what
look
the
at them. Yeah, they are.
Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus.
See, wait, you've seen a
Christ.
second here. Soon. See, he's got some friends.
Yeah, he's got some followers. Yeah.
He's got some and look here, look at that. Yeah, see, that's like it's
So,
like
yeah, I think
strategy-ish.
I-
like Minecraft
yeah,
Legends
I-
are
Yeah.
Like
hopefully better than Minecraft Legends.
yeah.
I'll keep my eyes on this game. I don't know. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily something that I'm like very excited for.
Is it
But
Game
guess
Pass?
what?
It
Game Pass
is on
day
Game
one.
Pass.
It is Game
And that
Pass.
does
Okay,
help
cool.
as
That's
well.
fine then. That's great. I'll play it.
Big get for Microsoft. You know, getting Capcom
Yeah.
to. I guess it helps that it's a new IP that probably won't find an audience unless it has these pathways.
Yeah,
But it could have easily gone to PS Plus with PlayStation.
Definitely.
But yeah, no, cool. I like Capcom doing stuff. Cool stuff.
Yep. A game we've actually talked about before. We have Forza Motorsport. We got talked a little more about it.
Yeah, the
it
only really big
looks-
thing here is that it's got a date. October
Yeah,
10th
exactly.
this
It
year.
looks good. We've
Um,
already talked about it.
They
It looks
confirmed
good.
some new cars that
Yep.
are like kind
Yes,
of whatever.
there are some new cars. Yes.
Yeah,
They're always
yeah.
there's new cars in the Forza
What?
Motorsport
Yeah,
game.
whoa, there's
No
cars in the
way.
Forza game, bro.
Actual
There's a
new cars.
Corvette. What?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this. Obviously, Game Pass.
Yeah.
I got that racing wheel. Might
They
as well
race
use
in
it.
circles in that place.
Whoa, they race in
Whoa.
circles.
Race in circles.
And I think and I think our
Whoa.
reaction to this is exactly why they only showed a trailer. They're not
Yeah.
showing gameplay again. Like we know what
NASCAR.
Forza, we know what Forza
Whoa.
Motorsport
Is that a
We know
Nissan?
that it's racing. This is the game. Like, it makes sense. It looks gorgeous, naturally, as you'd expect.
Yeah.
They're always good.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong with Forza. You know,
Yeah. It's you can't really.
it's
do
Forza.
much about it.
It,
Forza.
honestly, there's not much else to say other than yes,
It's really, especially Forza Motorsport and not Horizon. It's like it's the same every year, but it looks a little better, and they've got new cars and some new tracks and shit.
Let's
Yeah.
hope this time they ditch the microtransactions that they had in Forza 7, 6.
Yes.
One of them.
7.
Yes.
They had cards, I think. You got
Cards?
packs or some shit.
Yeah,
Oh, they
it's
had,
like
like, loot boxes?
FIFA level shit.
I will say one thing I'm concerned about with Forza Motorsport is that you have to level up the cars to upgrade them.
Oh, that's fun.
Okay. Depending on how they do that, it could be okay.
Yeah.
But
that's
like you
fun.
imagine online, like it's
Oh,
whoever's
yes.
played the
That's
most
shit. Yeah.
has the upgraded car. Yes, that is
Yeah,
that's
that's shit.
mainly my concern with that. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not fun.
if you can upgrade them in single player and then bring them over to multiplayer, that'd be nice. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah. Alrighty.
We're gonna.
This
It
is
always
a-
comes back to Overwatch 2, doesn't it?
Yeah, always comes back to this game never does. Even though I have stopped talking about this video game, it constantly comes back to this video game. Overwatch 2.
Blizzard
a new-
is trying desperately to keep people playing this game.
Yeah,
they are
Overwatch
trying.
2, a new adventure begins. Do you guys know anything about this? Because
This is the story DLC. That
This is the story
that
DLC.
was cancelled but not cancelled actually.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Also,
But it's
also,
not. So it's okay. So the hero mode that was the co-op with the upgrading characters,
Yeah.
the skill tree, that is cancelled.
yes.
There are
So-
still story missions.
Yes.
Oh, this is part of that, but without. the
Yes. So
like,
this
yeah.
is
Okay.
This is
Exactly.
like Archive. You remember Archive of Overwatch 1?
No,
like
but
the-
it's different.
but it's
it's not like
right?
Archive.
But yeah, but it's different, right? But like it's different, but it's
Do
similar.
you know why
a-
it's different?
I don't know why, but I did hear people complain about it's different, and I did
Because
hear
it's
a
paid
couple more
for.
things. That's exactly it, right? That's what I was gonna
That's
say.
the difference. You
Oh,
have
I
to
that-
thought
pay for
this was
yeah.
free.
Nope.
Oh.
So,
So okay. I'll take it back. Some of
Yeah.
it is free. Hero
Yes.
Mastery is free. The training ground is free. Thank God.
but
There are 3 missions in this August update that you pay for.
yes, you can pay $15 USD, or it's like $30 or $40 USD, and you get like some like
You get battle
exclusive-
pass stuff. You get
battle pass
you
stuff
get
with it, right? Yeah.
like I think 20 free tiers. That's
But and
fine, I
also
think.
you also get Sojourn. You also get Sojourn in that pack. I don't know why. They
no,
threw
you get skins for those.
No,
characters.
you get the hero Sojourn as well. So if you don't have the hero, you get the hero in that, which most people that are already playing now
Who
already
wouldn't have
have the
by now?
hero.
Anyway,
Yeah,
you get
it's
skins as
insane,
well. I
right?
think there's enough value there for people who are really into Overwatch that it's not the biggest deal.
Yeah.
I just think like
a lot.
I was probably gonna play the
this.
story stuff maybe, but
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
A
pay
lot-
for it. I don't think. You know?
A lot of people were saying like you because I think it's because they cancel and they're like, oh, but now you have to pay for the rest of it, right?
Yeah, I
And,
think
like,
honestly that whole media cycle around it being cancelled was detrimental to Blizzard
was.
because everyone
Killing
was
them.
like the story stuff is cancelled. And so
Yeah.
when they show it again with like some story stuff that isn't the full story stuff we were expecting and
Well,
it's
but
paid
it-
for, it's like, well, naturally
Yeah.
people are going to be disappointed by that. So
Yeah,
I think it's not
100%.
necessarily Blizzard's fault. I think it was just the way that GameSpot fucking headlined it.
Yes,
saying
100%.
cancelled. It's like, but it's actually not cancelled. It's just
Yeah.
some of it's cancelled. Like,
Yeah.
And what'll that be like? 22, 25 Australian dollars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Depends on how much content that is
well, the
actually
thing,
in
the
that.
thing
Well,
that I
it's
think it
3
sweetens the
missions.
deal a little bit is you're getting the battle pass for the season, and the missions come with that battle pass.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that's okay
yeah.
then.
it's, you know, you're sort of almost getting the missions for free if you think
Yeah.
about it that way. But I think that's the main draw of that season, at least.
I
I don't know.
am going to play this because I want to see what it's like. I mainly do because I want to see if it's worth it, if it's going to do it. So I will actually play this.
I'm just confused. Like, what's the replayability factor of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Is
not.
it just you do the 3 missions once? Because you
Never
have,
do it again.
they said you have permanent access to them, which I would hope so. But obviously, with, you know,
Imagine
Destiny,
three-
with
you play the
with
mission once,
Destiny,
that's
you know,
it.
maybe developers need to start saying that you keep this forever.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, what are there rewards attached to the missions? Have they? I'm sure there was a blog post, but I didn't really read too much into it. Because obviously I'm not that excited for Overwatch 2. Another thing about this is that it's cool that Game Pass owners get all the current new characters for free with Game Pass.
Yes.
Oh,
That's cool.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, all 6 new heroes, and you get legendary skins, and yeah, so you get some stuff with that. That's cool.
It is
I
cool.
like those.
It is cool. But like,
Relationship they're having.
bro, Overwatch is not in a good spot right now.
It's not, but
fine.
especially after like Diablo 4 and how well they're doing, it's like,
yeah.
wow, these
And,
are
like,
totally
Overwatch-
different roads. Like
They
they have
also-
split.
They also have brought out a new update, and now McCree's flashbang, you know, his sticky that he throws,
Yeah.
now stops all movement ability. So if you're
What?
Rhino charging, he can throw
Wait,
it,
so they're
and it
making it
stops your
worse.
charge.
Like I thought they were gonna nerf
Yeah.
McCree's ability because that was the most annoying
it's
thing
worse.
ever.
You know what's really funny? It stops all abilities. Like you can't wall run as Lucio, you can't double jump or dash as Genji, you can't run as Soldier 76.
Have they got the wrong fucking telemetry? Like
It's
I just don't know.
insane.
Have they got the wrong data? Like did they mix up the fucking Excel spreadsheet that's
But
wrong? Like
I'll show you guys
Oh, that cell was
afterwards.
green, not
I'll show-
red.
I'll show
Shit.
you guys afterwards. The tracking on it is insane. You can
wait, it already was insane.
No, so I
They can't make
watched,
it better.
I watched a video and there was, you know, the map that is like it's basically in the New Body Temple, and there's like that side you can fall down and like you're fighting in the middle of the two sides running. That one, it's a checkpoint map. You can run around the top with Lucio, and a guy threw a flew a flashbang. And it went up, it missed, like Lucio's here, it missed, and
And
it
it just
just
cracked on.
180'd. It
Yeah.
just went straight
Yeah,
at
I mean
him.
that's it's always done that. Like
Yeah.
it's literally like with the flashbang, even when the game Overwatch 2 first came out, you literally just like put it in the general direction and it will
It's
stick to
so
something.
good, and now it stops all your movement abilities, so it's great. I love it.
How
yeah,
long does
that-
it stun you for?
Well, it stops your movement ability entirely. It stops your movement ability, and I
But
think
you
can
you have
walk
to
around.
assume that it probably kills Lucio. in
No,
one
it
shot,
doesn't kill
it?
Lucio.
Oh, it
doesn't
doesn't
kill
anymore.
Lucio.
It
No,
used to.
no. Yeah, it
The
does.
weaker like level 1 enemy
think
enemies, it used to kill like the 100 HP characters
Yeah.
or whatever. It used to kill
Yeah.
them in one hit.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think it still does like maybe 75, 100 damage. I think it does something like
Well,
that.
100 will
well.
kill. How much health is Lucio?
Lucio has 200.
Okay, so it used to kill 200
Yeah.
health enemies players.
Yeah.
So I guess so they've nerfed the damage, but now they stop movement abilities.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it would bring that to
Anyway.
like 25. You could like shoot bang. Whatever.
I feel
Overwatch
sick that
2
we're
is-
playing. We're talking about more.
Yeah, Overwatch 2,
I'm
I don't wanna
actually
talk about that
nauseous
anymore.
right now.
So next up we have Persona 5 Tactica. It's Persona
Okay,
5
here's the thing. I'm actually looking forward to this, and I'll see
No,
why.
same. I am as well.
Because I like the idea of a XCOM style
Persona.
Persona.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
I think that
cool.
sounds cool to me.
It's cool. I like it a lot.
The thing is, like, I feel like I need to play Persona 5 and Persona 5 Strikers before I play this, because like I feel like it's gonna spoil. It probably spoils the story of Persona 5,
Yeah.
and I've heard that the story is really good in Persona 5. So like, there's a huge barrier to entry to playing this. I think. Cool that it's coming this year. Cool that it's on Game Pass. Cool that I'm glad that Atlas and Sega are continuing their relationship with Microsoft. That's cool
Yes.
stuff. I like that.
Nothing really much to say about
Nathan,
that.
I know you're gonna play it. You don't have to say anything. I know you're very excited for
I
Persona 5
definitely
Tactica.
I've
I
played
know.
every Persona game. I've played everything to. I main
Name 3.
I main Joker in Smash Bros. For sure.
Oh,
Surely.
wow. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Surely.
I've never played a Persona game in my life.
No, I've started some. Started them.
Yeah.
You started.
I started Persona 3 and Persona 5.
There you go.
And Persona 4, actually. I've started a lot of them, but yeah, just never stuck to them.
Never stuck.
This
never
game
stuck.
is cool. This next
Yeah,
game.
next up we have Jusant. Is that how you say it? Jusant?
Jusant, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, Jusant. Yeah, like
Probably
Okay,
the
I
nicer
gotta say that-
pronunciation.
Yeah.
that little buddy you have with you looks interesting. It looks like a pair of balls with eyes. Yeah, no, this is cool. I think it's. I will say it's cool that that Don't Nod just continues to release games. Like they're just like making shit. They've already released a game called Harmony like 2 weeks ago. They've got this game, and they've got the other game we talked about last week, the ghost one where you get your ghost wife.
That is really just a pair of ball with eyes. You're not wrong. It really is.
I told you.
It really is. Holy shit.
It looks so gross, but kind of cute. So like, you know,
it's
I like
cute,
that.
but like
it's walking the line. You know.
It is really walking the line.
I like climbing in games, so you know, a game around climbing and that whole. It's like what Death Stranding is to walking. This game is to climbing. You know. So. And Don't Nod's great at story, so I'm curious to see what the story of this game is going to be like.
100%.
There is a demo
cool.
as well out for this.
Oh,
and it's on Game Pass day one, so that's cool. And fall 2023. We'll see if it comes out in and because what they're releasing Harmony this year.
Yeah.
They've got the Ghost Wife game and this game. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I feel like this might get delayed, but
Yeah,
looks
this might get
pretty.
delayed back.
Don't Nod's great. Love it. Game Pass.
Yep.
Poggers.
Yeah, it's Game Pass again. Like that's the thing. I'm gonna play it because it's Game Pass. Like
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
make
the thing,
much
it's
more
like
than
I mean, depending on when it comes out. If it's in September and October, well, we'll see.
that. Yeah.
There's so many games in September and October.
Next up, Still Wakes the Deep. So it's like a horror game where you're on an oil rig. We were talking about before, like
Yes, it is. It's got a creepy atmosphere. It sort of reminds me of, I guess with the waves in the ocean, like a little bit like Soma, where it's like that industrial kind of look. Very creepy, more photorealistic than Soma. And yeah, it didn't show. They didn't show a lot.
No.
There's some creatures. There's something that's
There's
gone
some
wrong in this
spooky-
oil rig.
It's spooky, you
Um,
know.
it looks nice. I like the art style. I like the graphics.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Firewatch a little
I was
bit.
gonna say.
Yeah.
Because you see the hands a lot.
Yeah,
and you
it's
got
Very
kind of
similar
the radio.
animation.
And,
Firewatch.
yeah, and they got he's got fat fucking hands. Like he's
Yeah,
got like
dude,
the
he's got
Firewatch
those
hands.
chonkers. What
So,
those
like-
hands do.
Yeah, I like the name too. Name's
Yeah,
cool.
Still Wakes the
the
Deep.
Deep.
Cool.
I like it. Game Pass, I think. Is it Game Pass?
Yeah, Game Pass right there.
Yep.
Cool. I am gonna call something. I think this is gonna have some Cthulhu elements to it. Being water,
Probably.
being out on the rig.
In water.
Yeah, well,
You know,
like
Cthulhu,
I think
known to be in the water. So it's
I think that this is going to.
gonna have some. What's that guy that wrote about that? What's
Oh,
you know, like it's called like
shit.
something elements.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Hold on. Who wrote Cthulhu? I'm just gonna look that up.
Who wrote Cthulhu?
Yeah. H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah,
There we go.
Lovecraftian.
Yeah, there we go, Lovecraft
elements. Yeah,
elements,
I think
yeah.
that's probably a fair bet.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair bet with this.
Yeah.
Once again, Game Pass, love
Game
it.
Pass,
I will
probably
play
gonna
this.
play
May
it.
as well play it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
may
love
as well
horror
play it.
games on
That's
Game
the
Pass
thing.
because I mean
You
horror
may as well
games
play
are
it.
kind of hit and miss. So being on Game Pass, low barrier to entry, love it. Good stuff.
Yep. 100%. Next up, we have Dungeons of Hinterberg.
Yeah.
So
This one looks interesting.
yeah, you know, I don't have much to say about it.
I mean, that's all I've really got to say. I think it does look a bit busy
it does.
for a combat kind of action game.
Yeah, like we're gonna say.
I do
pretty
like the
quickly.
style, but everything's like lined in, and it kind of hurts my eyes a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
Like the
I
ground
don't know if
really
I'm just
hurt my eyes
fucking
when I first saw
old,
it.
but
No.
it just like it looks a bit like it looks like I'm
Like-
gonna get nauseous playing it.
Yeah,
And
there's
that's
a
no
lot of
disrespect
shit
to the
going
developers,
on.
but
Yeah, it like because of the the minecart bit, I was like, holy shit! Like
it's
I had
very
to, like,
fast and like
Yeah.
yeah, it does not play well with YouTube's bitrate either. But
no.
but yeah, no,
Um,
this is another Game Pass one, I think. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Game Pass. Every time it's Game Pass, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play
it's
it.
so easy just to be like, yeah, I may not immediately look like my jam, but because it's on Game Pass and it
Gotta
looks
play it.
cool-ish, like it's enough to get me to want to check it out. So
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
the power of Game Pass.
Mhm.
So
Power of Game Pass. Yeah, nothing really much to talk about that one.
good one. coming up.
Next up, Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty. Jamie, you actually have some skin in this game. But I
I do. It is on my Fantasy Critic. But
Yes.
even if it wasn't, I am
This looks good.
very very fucking excited for this, and I don't
Yeah.
want to get too hyped because you know it is Cyberpunk. It is Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe they'll fuck it up. But I do have a lot of faith because it's not just the expansion with Idris Elba, Johnny
Mm.
Silverhand's back. I like that it's a spy thriller. That's a really cool
Yes.
kind of
It's
idea
really cool.
around it. Some of the stuff they show with like the president's plane fucking dropping into Night City, into
Mm-hmm.
Dogtown, which is the new area. Love how this looks. Super cinematic looking. Lots of events happening that I can't remember in Cyberpunk. It didn't really feel like there was a lot of like changes in the environment
Not
when you were
really.
playing.
Yeah.
Like it looks great. Like I think it looks really, really fantastic, and it looks like they've really made some strides to make it feel a little more alive.
Yeah,
In
it's
terms
a living
and story,
city. Yeah.
story affecting the city. I think is really, really cool. But the big thing about this is that they are essentially redoing every system that exists in this game. Everything,
Shit.
stats,
Okay.
how cosmetics work, how armor works, how the police system works, AI, shooting, combat, NPCs, literally anything you can think of, car combat, like every element of Cyberpunk 2077 is being uplifted by this expansion. And it's all free with like if you don't have the expansion, you still get all that stuff.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
cool.
Just an update.
Because essentially like the director of this expansion was like, we want to leave this game in the state that it was meant to be in from the start. And so that's why they've used some of that budget to change everything, change it to how they wanted it to be, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
This
so
expansion is definitely what I imagined the game was going to be like when it first came out, like the actual story. And yeah, obviously with the rest of the changes, I think this is probably just how the game should have been when it came out, maybe. And
Totally.
and that's great that we're finally getting that.
Yep.
So you're still playing as V. Is that right? V?
So
Yeah,
it takes place. So the way it works is it takes place in the middle of the main story.
Yeah.
Oh.
So so you still have. I don't really want to spoil Cyberpunk. You would still stuff that has happened. You still have stuff. You still have things and stuff that you are attached to. The ending of the game hasn't happened yet. And so I'm guessing like the way it starts is you'll just. I mean, obviously the way the game worked is you sort of roll back before the ending. And so you'll be able to start the expansion straight from then. But also,
Well,
if you play it for
that's how the game worked anyway, didn't it? When you finished it, it rolled back to a save.
yes, exactly.
so,
And so that's
it's
why
just- yeah.
that's why it's and new ending. There is a new main story ending
Sick.
attached to this
Interesting.
expansion, which
Sick.
is very, very interesting.
That's very interesting.
Yes. So I like this isn't just me playing Phantom Liberty. I'm gonna play the whole game again. When that happens,
It's definitely
shit,
worth it. Yeah.
It's in September. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a
shit.
really, really stacked month. It comes out like 20 days after Starfield. Like, oh, I don't know. But I'm gonna try and find some time for this.
Yeah. I actually have never played Cyberpunk. Never played the first game.
Really?
I went to play it at launch. Didn't work on my PS5. Refunded it. Haven't touched it since.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I've
didn't
heard
work
it's
very
really
well.
good, and I was gonna play it. I was gonna get it,
Oh, wait,
especially after
yeah.
Edge Runners. But then I heard that this DLC is coming out. So I was like, you know what? I might as well just play
Go ahead and
when
play
DLC
it.
comes
Yeah.
out. And
Because
I'll
you'll
get it
get
all at
not
once.
only will you just get the expansion and the changes that are being made there, but you're also getting all the updates they've already made.
Exactly. Right. So
Plus
yeah, I
the
just
Edge
thought,
Runner stuff, and
I just thought when that comes out, I'll buy it all and I'll do when it comes out. So yeah.
yeah, and
You
that's why I
can-
haven't really checked out the updates too much that they've been making because I
Yeah.
knew this was coming at some point. So now I just get to package it all together, play it with the awesome overdrive ray tracing mode. With
Yeah, you can
path
run it at
tracing.
5 FPS on the highest settings.
No, you got DLSS 3. It'll run at 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Double that frame rate. Yeah, no, so I'm stoked for this. I think this is gonna be very good. And it's gonna be what the game should have been. Yeah. And
I'm
Idris
excited.
Elba, come on, Idris
Yeah.
Elba.
Yeah. Yeah.
And apparently he's not just phoning it in, which is fantastic.
It's great.
Because there's always sometimes when you get big actors, like sometimes they're not. They're just
They're
here
not
for the
all
pay.
They're just there for the money.
They're just there for the money.
Okay. I think Nathan, you might be excited for this one. I don't know. City
I'm
Skylines
excited
2.
for this one too. I'm excited for City Skylines too.
Yeah, City Skylines 2.
I just want to say this trailer was very inspirational. Inspirational last trailer. It's like, yeah, you know what? I do want to build a city.
I don't play games like this. So I really don't have much stake into this. I don't really have much talk, but like, I'll let you guys go. I don't really have much to say about this.
It looks pretty similar. There's obviously bits and pieces here and there where you can see they've upgraded certain systems and they've made them way more customizable, and like you can do much smaller parts of the city. It's like it looks like mods that exist for the game that have been implemented vanilla. Like you can kind of fuck with really tiny districts rather than just like broadly building a really large part of the city, which is cool because it means you can make it look exactly how you want to make it look. But I mean, yeah, it's more City Skylines and it's always good and it's on Game Pass, so shit.
And that's
how
the
can you
big
go
thing,
wrong?
right? Is
Yeah.
like it's coming out October 24th, 2023. So big month, obviously. But Game Pass. So, I
Yeah.
will give this a shot. And it helps that, it's not like because getting into City Skylines now is like, oh, you get the main game and then you get the fucking 20 DLC or whatever. It's nice that City Skylines 2 is just, at the moment at least, just the game. There's no excess DLC you need to buy on top of it. And yeah, no, I'm excited to give this a shot because I kind of got to City Skylines late, and so it'd be cool to kind of jump into this from the get-go, like when everyone's kind of discovering the game. Obviously, you know, it's a city builder, so it's not going to be a drastic change, but
Does look like they've included some of the expansion stuff vanilla as well, which is nice. Obviously not all of it, but I did notice some of it.
Yeah,
Some of it's there.
And it's Unreal Engine 5, so it looks pretty good. It looks pretty, and it's got a different art style. I'd say it looks more, a little more photorealistic than how.
Definitely. I'm not sure how I feel about that because I really like the original, but I mean, yeah, it'll be a better game. So.
They're going for a different vibe, sure.
Yeah. I'm excited though.
Okay, now Silla needs to pronounce this game.
What? So it's what we got metaphor.
You can say metaphor.
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 I'm trying to like get it all in one go. Like metaphor re Fantazio. Is that like I
think it's either re Fantazio or re
Fantazio.
It's like you do it all in one. I don't know.
Yeah, metaphor.
This is by the people that have made Persona 3, 4, and 5. So it's a cool. This is a big deal. I think that they're making a new franchise, new IP. All those fucking weird ass weeb nerds are so excited for this. They're super into this. I will say the one cool thing is I like the UI. I like how the UI looks in these games. I think it looks very cool. Bit
very
busy,
OG.
but it is very what'd you say?
It's very OG. It's from the era.
Exactly.
It's really cool.
And you got a skateboard or something. I don't know. He was doing a kickflip or some shit there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks fucking weird. It looks crazy. Good for those people, you know? They're super stoked.
Excited
not a Game Pass.
for you. Not a Game Pass. Not gonna play it.
But look at the eyes, man. Look at the eyes. They're doing some eye stuff.
What the fuck?
Wait, what? Do you
was
see
that?
what the fuck was that, bro?
Look,
Jesus.
I'm excited for the people that are excited for this game. That's what I'm excited about.
Good for you.
Good for you, buddy. Good for you.
You.
Okay, next up we have Towerborne.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, I am tentatively excited. Is it on Game Pass?
It's on Game Pass.
I'm unexcited.
It's the first party game.
Cool. Okay. Then
second party technically, not a first party studio, but it's
I-
exclusive.
Tentatively excited.
I've heard the Banner Saga games are good.
Yeah, I heard they're good.
This is a bit of a departure from that though. Like it seems like it's a living world with like co-op and I do think it's weird that it's like it seems like it's a live servicey kind of game.
It does. That's where I'm like
it's a
tentatively excited,
side-scroller?
right? Yeah, it's very odd. It's a very odd mixture of things, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it out. We always like co-op games, so
Yeah, it's
why not
co-op,
try
so-
some new stuff?
Yeah. Even if it's just a one night of Minecraft Legends deal.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
well, for Minecraft Legends, it was a 1 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just watching. You guys only played it for like an hour.
Yeah,
and a half,
the
2 hours.
ever-changing world, like it makes me. I'm very curious how this is gonna work. As a side scroller. But the combat might be fun. I don't know. I think is Banner Saga was turn based, isn't it? Banner Saga.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to say anything.
No
I
idea.
don't know.
Wouldn't know.
I don't know, man. Don't want to say anything I want to regret.
So this is obviously a little more real time. So interesting. Interested. And Game Pass just makes it easy to put this on my list, put it on my radar for sure.
Yep. When does this come out? 24. Okay, cool. Yep.
Trailer just
That's
told you.
good. Not in September.
Yes, no, not in September or October.
Yeah. Next up, final game, Clockwork Revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm very
one,
excited for this game.
This looked cool. This looked really cool.
I think this had
I
a
thought
great
it was
showing.
BioShock for a bit.
Yeah.
It is.
When I
it
first
is
saw
sort
that,
of
I'm like, damn.
Bioshock Infinite. Yeah, it does have that vibe.
I was like,
for
is this
sure.
BioShock?
Yeah.
Hopefully without the random racism in Bioshock. Infinite. Hopefully without the weird like societal stuff that they're pushing in that game.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, no, this looks great. In Exile, fantastic RPG makers in a similar way to Obsidian, but this is their first kind of first-person real-time kind of game. They previously did the Wasteland games, I think. Is that in Exile? Riff
No
for
idea.
a second. If no one's talking, as it.
Oh,
you say?
sorry. I'm just looking
Yeah,
at
they
this
did Wasteland.
because-
They did Wasteland.
Oh.
They
Sorry.
did? Okay.
Yeah, they did Wasteland and Bard's Tale. I don't know. Wasteland's pretty good though, but it is like
Yeah.
XCOM. So this is
I love the
first-person
steampunk.
shooter.
I love the
RPG.
steampunk look. This looks really
Yes.
cool. Like I love the steampunk look.
I love the time stuff where it seems like
Mhm.
your choices will change the future or the past.
Mhm.
Seems like it's gonna have some cool replayability as well with that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think this is gonna be great.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it looks like
Mhm.
it'll be good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
I really want to say this is just rich people shit, but that guy walking on the moving
the
red
box.
carpet,
Yeah, I like that. That's
like
cool.
Cool.
that's just rich people shit. Like that's all that was. Like it's very funny. It's very funny. But yeah, no, it's
And
really
the director
cool.
of the game has said this is a true like this looks like a first person shooter in the trailer, but it is an RPG like where choices matter. You can stat the shit out of your character, like
That's
everything
cool.
will
Okay,
be
that's cool.
minutely changed, and yeah, so
That's
like
really
that.
cool.
it's a true
I like that a
RPG
lot.
just with in a first person perspective with some guns. So
Cool.
yeah,
I
exciting
like that a lot.
stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe my like third most interested in game of this
Yeah.
showcase. I think I'm definitely keen to see more of that.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
But yeah,
Cool. We'll get on to what we've been playing.
we will.
We will.
So Nathan, you haven't played anything this
I
week.
have not.
You have not.
Nathan's
Cool.
playing nothing.
Okay.
He doesn't want to talk about Cars for Sale 20.
We're not talking
Simulator.
about Cars for Sale Simulator.
Sure, we can spend 20 minutes on it if you want to.
It's a game where you buy cars and you resell them.
So I've got two games to talk about. So do you want me to go first and then
yeah,
you go?
you
and
go,
then
then I go, then you go. Yeah. So which one do you want to talk about first?
I want to. I want to talk about Final Fantasy 16, boys.
All right, cool, cool.
Okay, so I played this last night. The demo's out. It's 2 hours. Save data transfers over to the main game. This is essentially just the first 2 hours of the game out for everyone to play now.
Sick.
Boy, I don't think I've ever been sold on a game so quickly. I guess 2 hours is a long time, but like sold immediately after the title card of the demo plays ever, because like it is just I am so into this game. So for people that don't know, this is very, very heavily inspired by Game of Thrones. Like almost like it wears its inspiration on its sleeve, where you have these families vying for these crystals that give them these powers, essentially. And so you have kind of like you've got the Lannister equivalent, you've got the Stark equivalent, and the idea is like basically these people get these abilities where they become icons, which are essentially they're creatures that have existed in Final Fantasy before, but in this game, they are essentially WMDs. They're fucking nukes. Like, when one of these guys shows up, it decimates everyone. Like, everyone is fighting. I'll skip along a little bit because, like, these things wreck. And this is all gameplay, by the way. This is in-game, like, moving cinematics straight from gameplay into cinematics back and forth. Like, super, super well done. Completely seamless. And I just like I was glued to the screen playing this because it was so interesting. The character dialogue is cool. It is super, super, super gritty and mature, and like there's relationships and there's blood and gore, which is not what you'd see in a Final Fantasy game at all. This game's rated MA. The characters swear. There's sex scenes. It's very, very like taking a drastic direction for Final Fantasy. With a whole new cast of characters that have not existed in Final Fantasy before. Outside of some references, like you have the chocobos, which were like they're like you've probably seen them, the yellow birds. You've seen them in all the Final Fantasy games.
The one you
before.
ride around on, yeah.
So you have those 10 poles of Final Fantasy, but this game does not play like a Final Fantasy game has before. It plays like Devil May Cry, where it's a character action game. And I cannot fucking wait for next week. I think this is going to be a really, really fantastic game, top to bottom. And if they can keep the momentum that they had for these first 2.5 hours of the game, this is going to be a game of the year contender for me easily.
How's the combat in the game?
Super fluid, super fluid. I'll skip along a little bit to get to that. I don't want to spoil too much because there actually is stuff to spoil in this demo.
Yeah, 'cause it's just straight up the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it leaves you like there is a moment in this game towards the end of this demo that's like, holy shit, dude, they're going there. Like this is like there is a Red Wedding equivalent event in the beginning of this game where it's like, fuck, dude, like no one is safe in this game. People are gonna die. People are dying, and it's just hold on, here we go. This is combat. So yeah, as I said, very DMC, all real time. Lots of different attacks you can get. It's still an RPG at heart. Like you'll still be getting stat boosts and upgrades and leveling up. But the combat is super fluid feeling. I love the particle effects that you get when you're doing attacks, and like you have these fire abilities. And this is even just like early game. Like obviously you're going to get more powerful as you go on. But super satisfying combat, feels great. Enemy, interactions are really cool. I don't know. I'm just very, very impressed by this game, and I think they're gonna pull this off. I really do.
It does look really good. It does look really, really good. Like from the gameplay that I've only seen like this a little bit, the fight looks really cool.
I
The
will
most
say
I've ever wanted to play a Final Fantasy game, so I'll give it
I
that.
will say
Yeah.
one of the big things about this is that instead of in the previously in Final Fantasy games, they recorded in Japanese, and then they would dub it. They would they would sub over it, and then you'd have the lip syncing where it would just be the Japanese lip syncing.
Yeah,
but with
mhm.
this time they wrote the script in English, recorded it in English, and then did the opposite, brought it over to Japanese afterwards.
Oh,
So the dialogue doesn't feel awkward and weird and
Damn.
when they get those weird translation errors when
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
feel quite right. So natural, so well done.
Japanese people are punching air right now.
And and it's dude, I am gonna sink so much time in this game. Like
Yeah.
I cannot fucking wait for this game. I think I was obviously very excited. I've said before that this is a game of the year contender against Tears of the Kingdom. I do have some concerns, but I think it's like early game concerns where there is a lot of stopping and starting. There are a lot of cinematics in this demo that stops the action, and there's actually like a surprising lack of gameplay. But I think it's all setting up. It's setting the stage, and then you will get these massive parts where you're doing a lot of gameplay. I think some people will be concerned about the amount of like cinematic stopping. You can sort of do these in boss battles. You have these cinematic evasions and cinematic strikes where the game pulls back and does sort of a cutscene. Still in gameplay, you still have the UI elements, but it's doing like almost like a quick time event.
Yeah.
Just to add some flourish to the combat. It looks really beautiful, gorgeous, love it. But it is taking you away from combat for a second just to show you some flashy kind of move.
Yeah.
So I don't think that'll sell everyone on. Like I think some people will just be kind of like, I just want to kill. I just want to attack. I don't want to see these things that interrupt the gameplay. And as I said, there is a lot of cinematics. I'd say at least half of the beginning of the game is watching the stage be set. But I was invested. Like these characters, the cool thing this game does is it doesn't feel like the story is starting as you start the game. It feels like there was a huge history beforehand.
Yeah.
And it
you're
feels like
coming
once the
into
game finishes, there will still be history afterwards, which I think is that's the sign of a good story where it doesn't feel like I'm experiencing something.
starts
Like
with
it feels
you.
like they've really thought it through. And with that being said, there are a lot of characters. There's a lot of factions and dynamics. So what this game does that's really cool is it has a real-time lore tab that you can activate whenever you want in cutscene, in gameplay, and it gives you some stuff that kind of relates to what you're seeing. So if you're seeing like a meeting with people, you go to this lore tab and it shows you like these little bios on who's who, and it gives you kind of like their relationships with each other and the location they're at and the faction they're part of, which I think is fantastic. Like I think
Yeah, that's a
every
good way
game
to do
should
it.
have this because sometimes you'll be in a meeting, you'll be like, like I sort of recognize that person, but I don't know who she is exactly. Just go to the lore tab. You just hold the touchpad, and it brings it up, and then you just go to it. It gives you a quick snippet of who they are and what they've done previously without spoiling stuff. And then you're just like, oh cool, I know what's going on. I know what's happening. Let's move on. Which I think is like a really great way of doing it, where you can have like the sort of throw you into the game, but not leave you without context. I can't wait. I think this game is going to be brilliant. I really do. I think it is going to be one of my favorite RPGs. I have a good feeling about it.
There you go. Okay.
And it's not going to feel like one of those awkward Japanese RPGs. It's going to feel like
Yeah.
it's going to feel like a Western RPG with Japanese RPG tendencies, I think.
Well, there you go. No, that actually sounds really good. Like, I want to play it. It's just that comes out next week, right?
Next week.
Next week. Ooh,
22nd.
Close. Okay. Yeah, I actually might give it a go because that looks really good from what I saw from there.
And
So-
you can try the demo. It's free.
Yeah, true. I'll try the demo. That actually is a really good point. Is it on Steam demo or
PS5 only.
PS5? Cool, easy. Right. Okay. Cool. Well, I have actually been playing Cult of the Lamb, which is like a roguelike S type of game. This came out a while ago, like last year, right? This was last year.
Yeah, it came out August last year, I think.
Yes. No. This game is really good. Like there's like
game?
it's a really good game. So what this game is it's told to be a roguelike with like sim elements basically. But I felt like the exact opposite, where it was basically a sim game with roguelike elements. You spend so much more time building your cult, building the making sure your like cultists are okay
I
and
was gonna
stuff like
say it's
that.
definitely a cult management game first. Yeah.
Yeah, with like some roguelike elements into it. And the like elements of that is really cool.
Mhm.
One thing I love is that you can name your cultists. So like I named it after like you guys and like I went in
Yeah, I
tears.
did
I
the
went
same thing. I named
yeah.
some of my cults after like either viewers or friends. Yeah.
Yeah, that you guys are my family, and then I started because I had like the 30 cultists at the end,
Yeah.
so I started writing down names. So I started just going like duh, gah, and just like so the most random shit for the
Yeah.
names. But the game is really good. Like, so I'll start off with like the smaller side, which is like the roguelike elements. It's good. I felt like it was pretty easy.
It is
Like,
easy. Yeah.
it is pretty easy. Now, the bosses are pretty difficult because they sometimes just become bullet hells and they just
Mhm.
start firing
Yes,
like the
they do,
orbs and they
definitely.
just become bullet hells. But the gameplay itself, it's a good loop. The gameplay is pretty easy, but is an enjoyable loop. That's the thing
Mhm.
is I did enjoy it when I did it. There's enough like replayability in it where it's good fun. One thing that's cool is when you go to a level, when you end it, you get a choice of the path you go. So you can go on a path that can like give you like some resources and then but afterwards it might be like a really intense fight afterwards. Or you can go ones where it's just straight no fighting until you go straight to the boss, right? So you kind of have a choice on what you can do. And you can see here they're like tarot cards that buff yourself up and whatnot. You can get curses that can help you. You can get relics. Like it can get very like there's a lot of variety that comes into the roguelike element, so it's enough to replay. But damn, that the city builder and like the management of your cold side is really good. Like that's really fun to actually do because oh, you gonna say something, Jimmy?
I was gonna say like I went into the game looking for a really fun roguelite, but I
Mm.
came out of the game finding a really great like cult sim.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like
Right.
that's sort of what it's like. I it changed my expectations of what the game was as I
Mm-hmm,
played it, which I really
mm-hmm.
and I did, but I didn't hate it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I
exactly.
wasn't disappointed by it not being a really hard roguelite. I
Mm-hmm.
just enjoyed it for being like a management sim.
Yep, exactly. I was exactly the same. Like I went into the same thing, and I was spending so much more time going through that. And like basically, how you're like with the cultists is there's like a faith meter, there's a sickness meter, and a hunger. Basically, those are the three meters you have to worry about.
Mhm.
And
That
the
might be new.
really,
I don't remember that being a thing. I
oh
remember
yeah,
there was maybe there was. Maybe I'm
yeah,
just misremembering. But I remember that there was like um each character would get hungry or sick
hmm
on their
hmm
own. But I don't think there
yes.
was a that might be new actually, that meter.
Yeah, those meters that overall covered all of it, right? So your what your
Hmm.
cultist
I
is
don't remember. I
feeling.
don't remember that, but maybe I'm just misremembering. It's
Yeah.
possible that I just forgotten.
So you had like feed them and whatnot, grow food and stuff like that. There's ironically the thing I did the most of that thing was farming. I did like so you get like a plot of land basically where your cult is gonna be, and the entire left side was just one massive farm. And I didn't need that much
Yep.
food, but
No.
you kind of go into that, which is really fun, and like you make the beds and stuff like that. The thing I loved about the most is that in these types of games, when you want to decorate, they usually have it cost resources. And some of the decorations in the game do, but there's a lot of decorations that just don't cost resources. For example, like the flooring to decorate the floor to change it whatever you want to, that doesn't cost resources and whatnot. So you can actually full on change how the floor and whatnot looks, which is great because you can make it look really unique without having to worry about causing your own resources, right? Which is really, really nice. Um, yeah, and you have to like manage your actual cultists and what they want. So like sometimes they'll walk up to you and be like, "Hey," um, the funniest one was one of the kids was like, "Hey, I feel like I've done enough. Can you just sacrifice me? Like you've done enough for me." They just wanted me to sacrifice them. Basically, the some of them start dating your cultists, and one of them asks like, "I want to impress them, so can you give me like, flowers or something like that and whatnot." And
There's so many funny like cult interactions that you can
there
make.
is there's
Like
some really
they'll just
funny
make you
ones.
they'll and you can make choices where it's like we're gonna eat shit now. Sorry, we've got
Yeah,
no
yeah.
food. We're gonna be eating shit. Like
Yeah,
we're,
there's one.
we're gonna have to like that's the next step. Sorry, we're out of food. No wheat. Just eat
Yeah.
your own shit.
There was one really funny one where it's like, "Leader, please don't be disappointed in me, but I've always wanted to eat poo." It's just like
Yeah,
they
that's right.
ask
Yeah,
you to
they'll do these
it.
requests, and it's like the most fucked up shit. And it's like, well, I mean,
Yeah.
he wants to do it, so like,
Yeah,
why not?
exactly.
Yeah,
Like, might as well.
yeah. It is a really fun game.
It's really
It
fun.
is
I
pretty short
love.
though. Like, but I
Yeah,
don't think that's a
only.
bad thing.
Yeah, I finished it in
How
like
long did it take
13,
you?
14 hours.
Okay, so
Like
it's a little
still
longer than it used to
decent.
be because
It's
I
still
did it in
decent.
10. So they probably
Yeah,
added a bit more
and
there.
I still have more stuff to do. Like, so I
Mhm.
just finished off killing like the bosses that you need to kill.
Yep.
And then afterwards, there's some other stuff you can do afterwards and whatnot. Like this entire story afterwards that I haven't even done.
They had some post-game
Um,
content. Yeah, I haven't done that
yeah.
yet either.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love the art style in this game. I love how your character looks really evil, but then when he starts like picking plants, he gets really excited while he's picking the plants and whatnot. It's really cute, the art style of the game. There's just a dick right there. That's just one that always confused me. I don't know if you saw that, but go back, rewind what you just
It was
did.
a rabbit's foot.
It's a rabbit's foot. I did not think it was a rabbit's foot when I first saw it.
It literally says rabbit's foot underneath.
I did not because I was
I
scanning
didn't actually
through
back
it.
too long.
I was scanning through it, and it did not look like a rabbit's foot when I skimmed past. I'm like, wait, was that just a penis?
I think you're
Like,
seeing what you want to see.
yeah. But no, overall, I really enjoyed the game. I thought it was really, really fun.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
one of my favorite indie games last year, and it's an
Yeah.
Australian team, which is cool. Love that.
Yeah, exactly. Australian team. There's,
Australian indie.
there's-
I know that the what is it? The Liberal government was not very prone to supporting indie developers in Australia,
Yes.
but that's changed now, which is nice.
There's a lot
Fable,
of
so.
one other thing I loved in this is to show it here. One other thing that I love in this was that you get these like doctrines basically, and there's these rules that you can set up where
set for your
it's-
clan.
yeah, you can set for it,
cult.
and it's every time I saw it, I wasn't like I always was stuck between. There was never one where I was like, oh, I like this one more than the other. There was always
really?
like I was stuck between. Yeah,
I
like,
always thought it was an obvious choice sometimes.
well, I feel like there was only twice where it was, but there was some times where I was like, damn, like these both are really good benefits that could actually happen, right?
Yeah.
There was one which was about the elderly, which is really funny. It's like the more elderly you have, the more faith you have, or if you kill your elderly before they die naturally, your followers get faith, which I thought was really funny.
Oh, I absolutely chose the kill the elderly.
I chose.
What
the
are they
other
going to
one.
do for me? They're old.
I chose the other one. But I'm gonna probably do a new
Yeah,
playthrough.
you're a good leader. I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a new playthrough where we go full on psychotic, where I choose murder, I
Just
choose death.
kill.
Yeah, and I choose kill the elderly because there was another one where it's like your followers are okay with eating grass meals, or your followers really enjoy eating the meat of other followers. They just full on
That's right. Yeah, you
cannibalize.
can feed your followers your other followers that have died.
Yeah,
It is morbidly funny. Like it's funny to see like these fucked up things in this cutesy kind of art style.
Yeah, exactly. It's really funny. It's really, really funny. But yeah, no, it's like it's a really good game. I would say if you enjoy like roguelikes or even like these kind of like city-esque builders where you like manage systems.
I was gonna say it's funny. Like if you're only looking for the roguelite aspect of it, I probably actually wouldn't necessarily recommend it because it's fine, but it's not like the best part of the game.
Yeah.
But if you are interested in the cult sim part of it, I think that's where
Yeah.
the game really shines. Yeah.
100%. Also, last thing I'll say before we go to your next game, the music really good. I was surprised at the first. I'm like, this is weird, but
Yes.
then I really like
good.
the music.
Yeah, no,
it's
I like it too.
really, It's a really nice loop to the music. But yeah, that's Cult of Lamb. Really good game. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
I also forgot to say the music in Final Fantasy XVI is fucking incredible.
It's really good.
All the things I worry, Tears of the Kingdom not hitting the musical notes that I wanted it to hit. FF16 is hitting those notes constantly.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Alrighty.
Yeah, let's talk about Liza P.
Yeah. So I actually forgot to put this down, but I also played this. I also played the demo of this.
Play the demo for this?
I
Yeah.
also played the demo of this.
This demo was long. Like
It was, dude. After you killed the first boss, like, oh, it's done. But
Yeah.
then it keeps going.
and then I beat another boss. I was like, okay, well now we're gonna,
Yeah, now it's
we're
done.
gonna fade to black. It'll say Liza P coming September 20th or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's like,
but
oh no, we're still going. Okay.
Yeah, like
Another boss. Surely this is where it ends.
Yeah,
and then it actually did end. Yeah, it was like a 2.5 hour demo. Just like obviously mileage may vary depending on how easy you find the bosses. But a lot of games that are trying to do the Souls-like thing that aren't From Software, typically they don't nail it. There's always things that are missing, or I feel like they're not hitting. They're not. It's something's just the From Software formula isn't fully being utilized. This game is different. This game is hitting on what From Software does, probably as good as you can get without being From Software. I think honestly. It is obviously not as good as Bloodborne, I'd say, but that's I feel like the foundation is always going to be better just because it's like they're the first people that did it. And I'm not obviously as into this world as I am into Bloodborne's world. But that being said, I am very, very excited to try this game out in full when it comes out in September. I think one of the
September,
cool
man.
things this game does that that Bloodborne doesn't is you can sort of do this mishmash of blades and handles, so you can
Yes.
make your own weapons. And so the benefit of that is obviously you have different stat distributions with your weapons, but also your blade and your handle have special abilities. So if you like a blade special ability, but you don't really like the handle parry, what it does, you can switch that out and make your own stuff and then upgrade that as you go.
Yep.
And I really, really liked that whole loop. And it was obviously very early on in the demo, but I'm excited to see how that expands in the full game.
Some Tears of the Kingdom fuse shit.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Obviously not as deep as that.
Yeah, where are the mushrooms on top of the swords?
Yes,
Yeah.
no, nothing too crazy. It is just very much like you can't add anything to it as a blade or whatever, but there is that freedom to like kind of play how you want to play and choose your play style. And yeah, you know, obviously art design, graphics, the music is really, really good. I think I think Souls-like games live and die by their enemies, by their enemies and their bosses. And I think the bosses that I've fought so far have been fairly fun to fight.
Yeah.
There is there's an air of bullshit sometimes.
Yeah, that's the main complaint that I have. Is
Particularly with the big cop bot at the end that you fight
Yes.
with the electricity, and then he'll do this electric move, and if you're close to him, he'll like the electricity. If it strikes you down, it basically one hits you.
Yeah.
That wasn't the most fun, especially when he's nearly dead. But you know, I did eventually kill him, and that was good. That felt good. I got the same sense of like achievement that I get from a From Software game when you beat a really hard boss.
Yeah. The only
yeah, I'm
complaint that I
yeah.
really have is that enemies' attacks sometimes aren't really telegraphed well, and they kind of just
Totally.
hit you, right?
Yeah, that's something
the-
I had as well.
That's the only complaint I really have is that, and that's not like I thought to myself, oh, that must be just an issue, but I saw a lot of people had that issue, so I'm like, okay, so it's not.
Yeah,
really...
I definitely felt the same way where sometimes an enemy will do like a quicker move and then they'll do like a wind up sometimes.
Yeah.
And obviously the wind up does more damage to you, but it's you can parry it easier because you know what's coming. And so sometimes, yeah, the animations wouldn't necessarily like I wouldn't necessarily know what's coming when they would start an animation. But that might be something that gets better with time as you move through the game, and enemies, you get more used to the enemies, I think. But yeah, I'm very excited for this game. I was very tentatively excited because like we've seen so many, you know, Souls-like games that aren't From Software not really hit the mark. I think this is hitting the mark, and I think it's good. They're going to pull this off. Because my main concern was combat feeling good, and it does feel good, thankfully, and bosses being fun to fight, and they were fun to fight, at least in this demo. So
Yeah.
as long as the game continues to build on this as it progresses and the bosses get better and they get more elaborate, I think it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good. Like,
And
I
Game
enjoyed
Pass.
it.
So
Yes, and Game Pass.
lots of
and
Game Pass games, man. Like
True.
they're kind of killing it with the releases. So
Yes. Right. Okay. Well, that's all of that. Do we want to go into building 100?
well, we cannot.
Or
we
what's
well,
up?
Already an
do
hour
we want to
40.
just
140?
do we just want to add 2 and then
Yeah. Do
next
we want to
week?
just add the 2 and then next week we'll
sure.
because it's
That'll
a lot
take a
slower?
few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
no, definitely not reorganizing.
Yeah,
We'll
no,
be
no,
no,
over
that's
2
what-
hours
That's what I
by
meant.
that point.
Just add a
Yeah.
couple.
Yeah, it's gonna take way too long. Cool. Okay. Who wants to go first?
I will go first.
Cool. What is your first
I
game?
want to add Sekiro to the list.
Damn it! I didn't get a new one.
And I'm going to put Sekiro at number 15.
Shit! I need to quickly. I need to get another game.
Sorry.
Oh, you know what? Okay, you know what? I'm doing another. I'm doing another From Software game.
Oh, come on.
Jesus Christ, it's gonna be all From Software.
Actually. Well, what From Software game are you adding, Seto?
Dark Souls 3.
Huh?
Dark Souls 3.
Dark
oh.
Souls 3.
Yeah. No, bro, Dark Souls 2. Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
Dark
no.
Souls 3 before Dark Souls 1?
This guy.
Dark Souls 1 probably gonna go in eventually. Dark Souls 3, the only reason I like it more is because I like the bosses
We've
much,
got way
much
too many
more.
From Software games.
We do,
We
but
should
they're
have
all
picked like
good.
one.
They're all good.
They are really good. They are all really good.
Dark Souls 3, the only reason I put it instead is because I like the bosses a lot more in Dark Souls 3 than Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 bosses are cool. I feel like they can be pretty damn easy, but Dark Souls 3 set design and the bosses, especially the boss music,
I mean, the level design in Dark
incredible.
Souls 1 is just better.
It
should
is.
say
It
it,
is.
should
Level
say it.
design of Dark Souls.
Anyway, we're gonna move on.
Yeah. Cool.
Nathan.
Nathan.
What are you adding?
Well, where are you putting it?
Oh yeah, where am I putting it? For now, I don't really care right now where I'm going to put it. So let's just again, we'll
Just
just
put
leave
it
it down here. We'll just leave it down here. I don't care. Well,
Right, just
I think
pick
it
a
was fine.
spot. Don't just leave shit at the bottom. Pick a
Pick a
spot.
Okay.
spot. Just
Pick a
spot.
spot.
Man.
Let's
Just
put
put it anywhere. We're gonna move it next week anyway.
Yeah, I'll put
As long as it's
it
within 5, it should
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah.
24. 24.
Roger.
That's what I'm putting
Bro, this fucking thing.
it.
Zooming out.
Cool. Nathan, what are you adding this week?
Battlefield 2040. No, I'm kidding.
Bro,
Bad Company 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, man. That was the OG back in the day with multiplayer and that campaign. That was lit.
True. I didn't like the
Um,
campaign, but the multiplayer was good. Where you putting?
Not too high.
No, yeah.
What the fuck, bro? It's so scuffed.
It is very scuffed.
Like here.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Cool.
What's your next one?
I'm adding Destiny 2. Okay. I'm adding
Damn
Destiny
it! Wait, hold on. I need to get another game.
2. And Destiny 2 is gonna go at
Okay. Destiny 2 is a hard one. I would put it high, but like
33.
33?
No.
Let me see.
Yep.
Where's 33? I like 33.
Yeah.
Yeah, 33.
I think I think it deserves to be there.
Okay. My next game, I am going to put on the Resident Evil 4 remake. I think it's enough
a good
time. I'm putting that on. It's probably gonna get moved, but for now, I'm actually gonna put it where Resident Evil 2 actually is. I'm gonna put it at 22.
That's fair. Is Resident Evil
22.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put it right there.
2? Yep, that's fair.
Cool.
Yep. And finally, Nathan.
My last one is Alan Wake.
Oh,
Good.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Good
Alan
one.
Wake.
I haven't actually decided where I was going to put that yet. I was looking before. Probably not that high.
Hi, where would go?
All right. Let's go like here. Although Life is
44?
Strange.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can. That's.
I like that.
fair enough to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very
That
good.
is our list.
There you go.
Okay.
At
So yeah,
57 now. Dude, we're gonna be
Yeah.
at 60 next week.
yeah.
Shit.
So yeah, we're definitely gonna have to reorganize.
We're actually getting up there.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
damn.
definitely gonna have to reorganize.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because yeah, there's some.
I don't think we probably don't have to do too much reorg.
No, it's not gonna be too much, but there's definitely some games where I'm like, I want to move around.
Sure.
I have some things in the top 10 that I do want to move around. We've already talked about it, but yeah, there's some
I'm
things in the top 10.
blocking Nier Automata.
You're locking
I'm
Nier Automata.
I'm blocking
I'm
it.
not putting that in the top 10. I'm not putting it in the top 10. There's actually games in that top 10 that I think are better than that game, but I do want Nier Automata at least top 15.
What's from 12? Some 12.
Yeah, I'm
And
fine
honestly,
12.
Mass Effect 2 should be above it. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm saying, Mass Effect 2 should be. Mass Effect 2 should be top 10. Anyway, that's a
Yeah,
discussion for next week.
that's next week. Yeah.
That is a
anyway,
next week discussion.
thank
Sign
you
us
all
off.
very. Oh yeah, thank you all very much for listening to this episode. We'll see you all next week for the 22nd episode of the 71st Hour podcast. Yeah, there's a lot more stuff. We'll be a lot slower next week. Thank God, not a lot less games to
That's
actually talk
fine.
about.
Yeah,
But
2
yeah, that's
straight
always
weeks
a
of
good thing.
massive news. It's always
Exactly.
good to
It's
just
just
Yes.
go back to
good
the
to
Just
normal.
slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you all next week. Bye, guys.
See
Bye.
ya.